you guys are going to vote on my void state name.
Okay.
Like last time.
Awesome.
Hey.
I can introduce this one.
Yeah, do it.
Let me do it.
Do it.
Hi, I'm Dixie Cochran. I am the in-house developer for Exalted as a whole line. For Exalted Essence specifically, I am developing this book. We decided about a week ago to do a playtest at this convention. I kind of poked Monica one evening and was like, hey, you want her in Essence? And she was like, maybe. So this will be an interesting event because the book, as I said before on our other panel, was still in red lines. So anything that you see aside from like Exalt names and the fact that it's called Creation is subject to change. Because as we find out what works with the game through further playtesting, some stuff might switch around. But for right now, we're going to be playing some Exalted Essence. I know I personally have not ever gotten to actually play Exalted, so I'm super excited. Neall and Monica, I know, are definitely old hats. I don't actually know all of Danielle's history, so we can talk about that real quick for a second. And Rich, as we found out earlier, has not played since first edition, but we thought it would be fun to playtest it with Rich. So Monica, do you want to tell us a little bit about what the game's going to be about, who you are, etc.?
Yeah, sure. I am one of the members of the dev team for Exalted Essence and also for Exalted 3rd Edition. We're going to showcase a whole lot of things about Essence. We're going to run through an adventure that the three of us, Neall, Dixie, and I all came up with. Y'all wanted to fight some undead and to stick it to the man, so we're going to do both of those things tonight.
That was me. I was like, can we overthrow somebody?
Are we sticking it to the mans?
Yeah. So there's a asshole ghost. I'm allowed to swear, right? That we can
Sure.
that we're gonna overthrow.
It's mandatory.
Cool. All right, perfect. That we're gonna fight and deal with, and hopefully the audience will get to see a little bit of what Essence is about, how it plays, and show off some of the adjustments that we made to the 3rd edition system for the simplified version that is Essence. So everybody has pre-made characters. Some of them made bespoke for people, and others made to surprise you, based on.
I am surprised.
Yeah. Danielle was instrumental in helping me figure out a lot of the early testing that we did for this, just to make sure that our ideas didn't totally fall apart when they hit the table, and they didn't. So now we're going to show you. Now we're going to do it live for an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could completely fall apart. It's definitely a play test. So if anything happens in the middle of the game and we're like, give us a second to figure this out, please bear with us. Because that's what play tests look like just in person. That's what they look like. We don't usually do them live. It has to be a fun treat for the Onyx Path con.
I hope that we will not hit any of those snags, but we might. So forewarned is forearmed.
Nicholas, you can ask questions, but keep in mind that we may not see it right away, especially if we're in the middle of role playing. But there's a big Exalted Discord if you're not in there already. Folks are often hanging out in there to answer questions. And also we have the Onyx Path Discord. So if we don't get to anybody's questions during the game because we're in the middle of something, please find us on one of those venues or on Twitter, whatever, ask away. Especially if you ask Monica or Neall. I think Neal's typing right now. I can hear him. Neall, I see that. No, it wasn't Neall. I called out the wrong person.
For the Discord specifically, I have a chef.
Oh, and Monica has her Exalted chef hat. So if you have any questions for us afterwards, please feel free. We'll try to answer if we're at a good stopping point, but if not, sorry, we're trying to run a game.
Yeah, so do we want to start with, Neall, do you want to talk about session 0 and all that? Want to start right there?
Sure, absolutely. So for those who don't know me, I'm Neall Raemonn Price. I'm another member of the Exalted Essence and Exalted dev teams. Monica and I developed Crucible of Legend, which is the Exalted Storyteller's Guide in tandem. And a big part of what went into Crucible and a big part of what goes into Exalted Essence is an emphasis on something called Session 0. Session 0 is basically a pre-session. It's a session before you even start the game that's completely dedicated to setting out group expectations, to setting out lines of consent, to setting out what the tone and what the characters of your game are going to be. And ideally, you all make characters during session 0 and identify group ties, so you can just hit the ground running and play. Yeah, Monica has made pre-gens for us with some of our feedback, and my particular character, he doesn't have a name because he casts his name into the void. He does have a title.
We're going to start with the Abyssal. I love it.
Yeah, his title is the Ceaseless Harvester of Wisdom, and he goes by Harvester.
Although I'm going to call him Ceaseless. Just ceaselessly. So many things.
That's fine. He's as long as you're acknowledging his title, he's fine with it.
2 things real quick before we get super into characters. One is that, Monica, if you could make yourself a little louder, either by pointing your mic more towards your mouth or turning your input up, the chat is asking for that. 2 is that there will be a giveaway at the end of this game to a random viewer who interacts with chat. So just get your name in chat at some point during the play, and it will be a copy of the Scion Origin PDF. So Neall will feel doubly vindicated because you've both watched him for 3 hours and now you have his book.
Yeah, and now you can read me for 3 hours.
Is this better, chat?
Yes.
You sound louder to me.
You sound louder than Neall, and that's what's important.
All right, cool. Perfect. I'm louder than Neall. That is all that matters. Since Neall has introduced his character, let's go clockwise for me, which would be Danielle next.
Hi. Hi, I'm Danielle Lauzon. I am not a developer. I am instead, not on this.
You're a developer on so many things, Danielle.
Look, I'm not an Exalted developer, okay? Like, it's different. But I have my only experience with Exalted is actually first edition. I haven't played since first edition, much like Rich. So I ran a game back in college for some friends that lasted a semester because that's how we did our games. And then we didn't really play very much after that. And then things happened, like second edition happened, and I didn't really get involved with that. Nobody really wanted to play in my friend group. And then third edition came along, and then I have played some third edition because friends were like, yay, third edition, it's amazing, let's play. And so I have played first and third. I never played second. Sorry for all of you really strong second stands. It ain't me. Anyway, so yeah, I helped write. I wrote the combat system and the social system for Exalted Essence. So if that stuff sucks, it's not because of me. It's because Monica made changes to it at some point since I turned it in.
You're the boss. There you go.
Danielle, this is based pretty much off of your original draft.
Well, if you hate it, it's Monica's fault. She did something. I don't know what it is.
I mean, Monica wrote the mechanical portions of the outline, so it can be her fault if you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess there's no avoiding it.
Hey, I only developed the setting parts of the book.
Yeah, exactly. So
I just like how I'm passing the buck down like the worst boss ever.
I'm
like, yeah, it wasn't
guys. Maybe not dissing the thing that we're playtesting.
No.
You know, before it's even
really
close to anybody seeing it. Oh, this is crap.
I fixed out chemicals. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Anyway, so I'm playing the solar. I am a Dawn cased. I'm a big smash. And I have, we are going to vote on a name. I have not decided on a name.
Oh, cool.
Putting it to the group. All right. What are your two or more choices? What are our choices?
Are you using Void State's name generator?
I am absolutely using Void State's name generator.
Such a classic Exalted thing to do.
It is. Okay. So your options are. I can't even.
Don't leave us in suspense. We've got 5 minutes. We want to start this soon.
Scorning sword in hand.
That's very hard to say.
Okay.
Scorning sword in hand.
All right.
Soaring labyrinth. Sorry,
soaring labyrinth, as in like a flying
flight maze.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
they're amazing.
Thrashing metal of evasion.
Thrashing metal of evasion.
Yes.
God, that's hard.
All of them are bad. So.
Yeah.
Okay, there was another one which was esteeming fortress in fortress, which I just missed immediately.
I know. No, that's it. That's
Essentially, fortress in fortress. I like that.
steaming fortress and fortress.
It's steaming fortress and fortress.
Yeah.
I think Danielle's character is just named Fortress now.
It looks like I'm getting most votes. At least the votes are coming in.
Okay, now on your phones.
From the fans.
People seem to like thrashing metal of evasion. Although somebody wrote trashing metal, and I just want to call you trash metal.
Yeah.
So thrashing metal, it seems to be winning it big time.
Right. Okay, thrashing.
Everybody likes metal. That's a.
Okay. I'm gonna call you Timo. That's the acronym.
That's adorable. I love it. What
Excellent.
pronouns does thrashing metal of evasion use?
They, them.
They, them. All right, cool.
Excellent.
All right. Dixie, your turn.
I am playing. I can't get over this right now. I am playing a Sidereal of Endings because, as I've talked about on the podcast, if anybody listens, Sailor Saturn's the best Sailor Scout, and so I had to do that justice. Yeah, so I'm playing her. I didn't have a name picked out, but I keep referring to her, and I am going to use she, her pronouns just because it's easier for me, as a character that I got named by, I think, already on the Exalted Discord like 6 months ago, which is Fluttermouse, Roosting, and Poison Trees. But you can all call me Roost. I'm okay with Roost.
Not Flutter?
This is cool. I don't know if I like Flutter. It'd be like Fluttermouse, like in German, and then it's like Fleeter, and it's hard to say.
Yeah. Call you a
also,
bat.
Also, I just keep thinking of Die Fluttermouse from The Tick.
Right. Uh-huh.
If anybody calls me Die Fluttermouse, I'm not going to be upset. Like, but if you don't want to say all that, you can go by Roost. I'm good with
all right.
Roost.
Okay, Rich, tell us a little something about your character.
Let me get this right here, folks. So you got to read it.
Have you even named your character yet, Rich?
Oh, I have.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I am a lunar, full moon, and mostly I take bear form. So that's what I'm tied to.
That's your spirit shape.
Yes. I have a couple other little tricky little shapes I can drop into, but I like the bear. Beyond that, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with this particular character yet. Is bear a pronoun, or should we go right to, or just call him a he?
Should probably do he, him, they, them, she, her, it's easier, etc.
Because he probably only would respond if you said bear.
He, him, bear.
Bear.
He, him, bear.
There we go.
Yep.
And his name is Barre Necessities.
All right, necessity.
Oh God, you went with it. You went with the Baloo joke. Oh no.
So be prepared to
All right then.
listen to me try to do my best Phil Harris impersonation from Jungle Book. But
Thank you, Honorable Barre.
All right,
Yes.
so we're
call me Ba.
starting this off with a very serious tone.
Yes. Much serious, very wow.
deeply serious. Exalted is a deeply serious game.
Let's go get those ghosts.
My God.
Oh no. Why did we invite Rich?
I'm not talking like that. That's goofy.
All right, so now we know who all the characters are.
Elliot just fired himself in protest in the chat.
It's just
Destroying essence for my face.
yeah. So now that we've named and established all our characters, let's go around again and let's decide how we all know each other and why we're working together, and give the audience and myself a little description of what you think your character looks like. And I'm going to put Neall on the spot to start again.
Okay. My character wears almost like clerical looking robes. They're long, almost like a cassock, but it is elegantly decorated with peacock feathers. His hair is bleached white, kind of like Danielle's rocking right now. Yeah, he has a few small soul steel accoutrements on him, just like bracelets and rings, but no weapons or anything that you can kind of see. I'm thinking he's a Death Knight of the Mask of Winters. Is that going to throw the adventure out of whack?
Nope.
Okay, he's a Death Knight of the Mask of Winters.
Cool. So what sort of misadventure have you gotten into with metal in the past?
Metal, I think at some point Metal went looking to beat a sorcerer, just beat one up in sort of a sorcerer. Yeah, a sorcerer threatening something that Thrashing Metal really loved. And I said, I'll help you. Sure. Yeah. And I busted out some cool ass necromancy and we beat the sorcerer together.
Nice. What unfortunate scrape did Roost save you from?
Maybe Roost saved me from another sidereal trying to kill me. Maybe even another Chosen of Endings. But Roost said, it's not your time to end yet.
I'm a better sidereal of endings, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Or I've made a terrible mistake.
You've made a terrible mistake.
Let's see. What humorous misunderstanding brought you and Ba together?
I saw Ba in his bear form, and I thought he would make a really good necromantic war machine. Boil a bunch of that flesh off that skeleton, a bear skeleton. You don't get much better than that. It didn't go well for me. But now we're the best of friends.
Are you, though?
No.
I did wake up with my foot in a pot one time, and that wasn't. I don't know how that happened.
I wasn't trying to boil you then. I was just trying to make your
bear stew.
Yeah,
some soup.
All right. We'll go down to Danielle and Metal. Metal, what unusual favor do you owe Roost?
So there was like a celestial party that I really wanted to go to. And Roost was like, I mean, I do have a +1, but I definitely don't want to take you. And I was like, I will owe you anything if you take me. Please take me to the celestial party. And so I owe Roost for taking me to a celestial party, which I probably trashed.
Oh my God, it's like the She-Ra Princess Prom episode.
Yes.
What do Metal and Harvester disagree on?
Lots. I think he does necromancy wrong.
Do you know anything about necromancy?
No.
It just feels off somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm channeling necromantic essence from the underworld. Of course it feels off. It's supposed to feel off.
But I think you're doing it wrong. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be done.
Sounds like a development debate to me.
So, do you feel any previous life connections to Ba? The answer can be no.
I think it would be amazing if, like, maybe not like last incarnation, but 2 incarnations ago, Ba Ray was my like lunar match.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
That's pretty intimate.
What's cool about Exalted now is that it can be like best friends or like sibling type relationship, which I love. Doesn't have to be romantic.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be romantic.
Cool.
I have 0 romantic feelings for Ba now.
But maybe you feel some sort of lingering connection, emotional connection over someone who maybe you've met fairly recently.
Yes.
Cool. I like it. So Roost, what great future do you see in store for Metal?
Oh, I see them leading their people. Wherever they are from, I see them going back there and becoming a great leader.
Okay. Metal, where are you from? Do you have people to lead, or is this something you're going to come into?
That's a good question. I think I don't have people yet, and so I'm very confused by this prophecy.
Yes, sidereal confusion. That's my power.
What ill omen does Roost see associated with Harvester?
What ill omen doesn't Roost see associated with Harvester? Roost, I think, sees Harvester's hubris leading to his downfall.
Okay, that's good.
Because if anyone's going to play the heel in this game, it's Neall Raemonn Price.
It's my hubris is definitely not going to lead to my downfall in this game.
Oh, and what sort of tremendous change have you seen associated with Ba's fate?
Aside from the obvious, where he turned into a bear.
Think bigger than personal change.
Yeah, no, I know. I see him coming into forbidden wisdom that leads him to a choice.
Okay.
And I will be there when he makes that choice to see if he chooses correctly.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Bob, how do you feel about Harvester saying that you're best friends?
Whoa, we were best friends. We'll see. How long have we known each other?
I'd say probably about a good 3 months. 3 months since I tried to rip the flesh off your bones and use your skeleton as a war machine.
Forgive and forget, I say. So yeah, he wants to be best friends. Oh, I'm fine with me.
You cool with that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What sort of ridiculous, collateral, but extremely fun thing did you and Metal get up to?
You mean in the past, or
in the past,
or just in this incarnation?
It can be. I meant for like establishing the relationships between your characters currently, but it certainly can be influenced by your past life if you want it to be.
I don't know. I was walking through town and I saw this. I mean, I could smell it first, and it just smelled so good. It was just this pie. And it was right there on a windowsill, and I just went, I gotta have this pie. I mean, it really, really, really smelled good. And I didn't know that I was taking a pie from somebody who, had their own personal, what do you call them, guards. And next thing I know, I'm running down the street eating my pie, and this guy's chasing me. And fortunately, Metal came around the corner just at that moment, and immediately recognized that there was a situation that I hadn't even noticed was happening. And so we ran through town together, and we did some stuff where we were jumping over, roofs and climbing up on things. And, I didn't want to go, full bear on these people. I just wanted to eat the damn pie.
Rich, you have phenomenal cosmic power, and you're a commissioned soldier in the army of the gods in ancient times. And you use
stealing pies.
Yeah, stealing pies.
Pies.
There are worse abuses of your phenomenal cosmic power.
I mean, shouldn't they just allowed me to have the pie? But no.
Yeah.
The God-given right.
Yeah. By Luna's majesty, I deserve this pie.
If I was in the river and there was a salmon, I'd eat the salmon. It was in the town on the street, there was a pie, I ate the pie. Unfortunately, Metal was there to sort of help me along and get us out of there without tearing down half the city.
You all
also help eat the pie.
You all are killing the Exalted Discord right now. I just want you to know it's all chompy all the time, right this second. And then Rich ate 40 pies. Like there's so much happening right now.
Oh my God.
You see a pie, you eat a pie. That's my motto.
Oh no. Also, I made them change my name because you guys all had the super long names and I felt less cool. So I was like, can you give me the stupid long name? And now they're fixing it.
So my last question is then, as a person with animal instincts and senses, how much do you trust Roost?
Well, it's strange. I've vague memories of things that went on with other seers, if you will. And for right now, we'll see where it goes. I hear I'm going to get phenomenal cosmic knowledge. So that's worth hanging around for, maybe.
So you're just in this to find out what happens?
Uh-huh.
See whether or not this forbidden knowledge is just going to come to you like maybe a pie on a windowsill.
Look, after all this time, I pretty much discovered you just kind of have to go with it.
Just got to go with it. Okay. All right. So we now have a really good sense of, you know what? Everybody else didn't give a brief description of their character. So Metal, what do you look like?
Oh, sorry. So Metal is like a very, very short and petite.
Okay.
With flaming red hair and a big ass sword.
Okay.
Because if I can't have a big ass sword, why am I playing Exalted?
Right.
I don't have a big ass sword. I've got a big ass
Sorry.
bow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, why not? Okay.
Yeah, I don't fight with weapons. I summon a flaming bone lion to do my fighting for me. You guys got this.
All right. What does
I
Roost
have
look like?
on.
Roost. Oh, sorry. Were you still going,
Yeah,
Danielle?
yes.
Please finish.
I have a familiar,
Okay.
which is just a really big, fat, lazy cat.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So yeah, often when the giant lion made of bone comes out, my familiar is like, hey, what's that?
Does your familiar have a name?
Fluffy.
All right. Thrashing metal of evasion and Fluffy.
Yes.
Fluffy.
Is Fluffy just like the fat tiger meme? just a really fat tiger.
like a regular tabby cat who's flaming red like I am, and orange, and just fat and lazy. Follows me around. Sometimes tries to sit on my shoulder and crushes me.
All right. So what does Roost look like?
Roost is built like a very tall dancer, like a ballet dancer, like very, very slender, but like muscular. She's, like I said, taller than your average like woman, like 6'1", 6'2", thereabouts. She wears mostly blacks and grays with occasional like purple accents in her clothes, like robes and pants and boots and things, all built for stealth. So like very soft leather where there is anything besides fabric. And she does have a huge silver. Is there a certain kind of silver it should be for Exalted? Huge giant bow.
It's probably either star metal or moon silver.
It's star metal because that sounds awesome.
Yes.
So she's a giant.
The sidereal thing. So
yeah, I was gonna say clearly it's star metal. Like moon silver is Barre's thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a giant star metal bow strapped to her back at all times, but does not always have a discernible quiver or ammo hanging around.
Cool. All right. What does Barre look like, or are you just bear?
Yeah, just bah. Pretty much what you might expect. He's big. He's got pretty hairy. Not just basically not really taking care of his hair or his beard, and kind of a little bright eyes underneath a relatively heavy brow, and then wears layers of silver chainmail. It's not like a silver chainmail shirt or a silver chainmail. They're layers that have just been kind of pulled together and draped, and then a kind of a shoulder cloth thing that is got pockets, and there's like you can see the pommel of a dagger that's sticking out of the side of the thing, and it kind of moves on its own every once in a while. It's a little weird. And he drapes that over his shoulders and just kind of ambles around.
So do you hang out? Do you spend time in your human form, or do you spend most of your time just being a bear? Because you can just be a bear the whole time if you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much likes doing that, but he doesn't necessarily just wander around in the bear form when there's going to be civilization around or anything like that. He'll be barre rather than bear, depending on what's going on.
Unless it's necessary.
All right, so
unless I see a pawpaw tree,
yeah,
or a prickly pear.
So since Harvester established that he's a Death Knight of the Mask of Winners, this sounds like the game is probably taking place somewhere in the east, maybe in the 100 Kingdoms area, which is really sort of the very open part of the Exalted setting.
Scavenger lands for life.
There's a lot
here somewhere.
Having some earbud problems there. There's a lot going on in the Scavenger lands. So let's make up a couple things about where this game is going to open as the party is traveling along. Sorry, I should stop calling you the party. You're the circle. You're
we are a
exalts.
circle.
Yes. Is traveling along. And this area of the east you're in is probably near a Shadowland because we want to go and beat up an asshole ghost. So let's kick around a couple facts about the area you're in and some details about its culture and the Shadowland and how that's affecting it. So let's start with, I'm going to put Neall on the spot again since you took a drink. Give me some fact about the area, the Shadowland, or its culture, or whatever.
Okay. The place was once a prosperous kingdom until its ruler
Fire
made
Nation attacked.
Yeah, until the ruler made a pact with the Walker in Darkness, and the Walker of Darkness walked through, and ever since his massacre, the kingdom has been partly depopulated, and there's a big Shadowland there, where the siege engines of the Death Lord were pulled up to the city gates.
Nice. All right, Danielle, give us one fact about this area. No wrong answers.
Also, you are muted, in case you were wondering.
Shit, I'm glad you said that because I was going to start talking.
I like saw you thinking. I saw the little red microphone. I was like, she's going to start talking. Come on, a sidereal, and I can tell what your fate is.
The land around here is like magic pocked and scarred.
Okay.
So there's just it's like blasted lands that have been in some ways destroyed by magic. Okay. So there are places where like nothing grows or things grow wildly out of control, cool. Like next door to each other.
I'm writing that down. I love it. That's really cool. All right.
I'm a writer. You should hire me.
I have. Dixie, give us one fact about this area.
A nomadic group of funeral priests has moved in, and they are attempting to deal with both the Shadowlands and possibly the Fair Folk because of the weird overgrowth thing. Yeah. Thought I'd give you some NPCs. I don't know.
Yeah, love it. That's great. I whispered, "That's really fucking rad." I don't know if my mic picked it up. All right, nomadic group of funeral priests trying to deal with this situation. All right, Rich, give us one fact about this area.
Well, at night, I imagine this is more disturbing to Dixie than anyone else. It seems like whatever you can see in the sky tends to shift around a little bit. Just get you get like a little after image, get a little weird, strange thing. So whatever's up there at that time of night, it's hard to get a full view of that. Whether that's
maybe it shows the sky of the underworld rather than the sky of creation.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
They're superimposed, so you're getting a weird blur.
Yeah, like a weird after image type situation.
That's what the after image is what I was going
Double
for.
exposure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So that is some.
We made a weird area for you, Monica. Have fun.
Here's a little weird area.
This area is canon now.
And
all right. That's right.
Yeah, that's really cool. And all of that fits in with the general outline that I put together for this. So that's really cool. I'm glad we're all vibing on this. All right, so let's, with that, take a breath. If anybody needs to refresh their drink or whatever, do it now because we're going to get started.
I will say before we start, just real quick, we probably will be taking a break about halfway through, so in about an hour or so.
Okay.
Just take like a 5 to 10 minute break so people can use the restroom and everything. Usually they're pretty good about stopping the stream, or we can at least turn our cameras off. Just because sitting here for 3 hours while we're all drinking water and talking is sometimes a lot.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
But I want to go right now.
Okay, well, we can take a
it won't take me long. I'll just leave
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get a water. That's what I'm doing.
An official halftime halfway through.
Yeah. Right.
Go,
Okay,
Danielle.
so a little quick break now then.
Yeah, quick break now.
You can turn off your camera if you want to, but hitting stop video sometimes messes up the order on the thing. So maybe.
Sorry, Discord. I'm going to take the chef's hat off. It's very hot.
Who are you even?
It'll be in the frame, all right?
I guess the I was going to say the 3 developers can entertain the crowd, but Danielle's leaving too, so it's just us. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
We got left alone. And we're back. I think we're back. I can't tell if we're back until YouTube starts.
It's got like a 30-second delay too.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I never know. But we are here.
Are we
Once I
back?
see somebody talk in chat or whatever, we're good.
Yep.
Someone tell us if we're back.
I think we're back.
Yes,
There
we're
we are.
back.
We're back.
I can see
Okay.
it.
All right.
All right, so we can start playing now.
Yeah, we can start playing. Now
Right.
is the time in which we can start playing. I hope everybody has their dice or dice app rolling apps. I have a dice bag that it looks like a D10. That is
Oh, D10 of D10s.
literally
Okay.
There you go.
okay.
Makes
full
sense.
of D10s.
Monica,
Yeah.
tell me how many dice will I need for Exalted Essence?
You will need no more than 20. but preferably right between 8 and 15.
Okay.
We tried to keep those numbers pretty tight. I think most of the characters in this game have dice pools between 8 and 10, with some stuff that can make them a little bit bigger. I would be really shocked if someone rolled a pool higher than 20, but it could happen.
Only
right.
with stunts.
Yes, with stunts and with teamwork, it could happen.
For those of you who don't know, it is very possible to roll a pool of like 100 dice in Exalted 3. This is actually us trimming it down.
Yes.
This is actually the trend side.
Yeah.
It sounds like rookie numbers until you realize it's a streamlined version.
For a moment, I thought you were going to ask me how many D10s are in this bag, and my answer was going to be enough for more than one person to play Exalted.
As many as I need.
A lot of dice.
More.
It is a lot of dice.
2 D10 D10s.
Anyway.
All right.
Let's
so
go.
as your party is traveling
Circle.
through the east, crossing into the border of this liminal space where magic has scarred the land. There was a big battle in the past with the Walker in Darkness, thanks to the pact that the former king made with him. The spell casting as a result of that battle both caused the Shadowland and also caused all this bizarre warping to happen. And as you are traveling through it, all of you can see that there is this group of bandits who are obviously in some sort of desperate situation. Like, they don't particularly look healthy. Their clothes are kind of falling apart. They're probably people who have been, stricken by the certain problems that have cropped up in this area. Maybe not just the supernatural ones. Kind of hard to tell. But they have chosen at this moment to pick a fight with the aforementioned funeral priests who are just here trying to help.
Trying to do their job.
And it seems that you come across the scene where a whole bunch of these armed individuals who are acting out of desperation have the funeral priests surrounded and are trying to shake them down for money and food. So I will open it to the rest of you. How exactly do you think how do you think you're going to approach this problem? Do you want to try to talk them down? Do you want to just bowl right into them? Some combination of the above?
I think a combination of the above.
All right.
But
Yeah, I imagine it looks a bit like this, where I see them, my eyes get really big and shiny, like a cat who's like, oh, I can play with something. And I start to pull out my dieclave, and probably like Roost is like, no. No.
We don't know the intentions of anybody here. I saw that.
we know that they want to interfere.
They look bad.
They
I
want to
can sense
interfere
these
with
things.
They're interfering with the dead being laid to rest. But, I don't actually mind that. I think having the dead up and walking is a good thing.
But you normally have my back on these things.
I mean, I guess we could take care of them. Actually, shaking down the funeral priest will give us a good idea of what kind of the undead situation around here is. So,
You want to help shake
You want
down
to
the
shake them
piece?
down?
we defeat the bandits first, then we shake down the priests.
Why
I mean,
don't
they
we
should be
just-
grateful, right?
Yeah.
I think they should be grateful, and maybe they'll just give us information without us having to shake them down, right?
Yeah, they might just talk to us like
So
we
normal
should-
people.
I mean,
So we should help them.
You mean literally shake them down, right? Like we shake them and
Like-
shake them and shake them until they come apart.
If that's
How
what's
many
necessary,
times
Bahre, if
do we
that's what
have-
it takes.
All right. How
Just
many
say the
times
word.
do we have to tell you? That's not usually what we want you to do.
Hey, I didn't even say I was doing anything. You guys go. I'll help out.
So So on 3, we rush these guys, right? You got my back, Ba?
Yeah, if that's what we're doing.
All right.
I'm
1,
not gonna let you go in there by yourself.
2.
I can't stop them. This is their fate.
Okay, so Ba and Metal are just
Russian.
I'm just gonna
Bear
like
rushing, please.
Bear. Sorry.
I'm gonna take one step into like the shade of a tree and get as like stealthy as possible and just like long suffering sigh and just hold my bow loosely in one hand. Like I've been here before.
What is Harvester doing while the party's dumbasses charge at them?
Harvester is going to start taking a focus will action to summon his bone lion.
Okay. Before we get to doing that, you can make the focus will action if you want to start building up the will for perhaps spell casting later. But the bandits are desperate individuals. They are trivial targets. They're extras, and we can demonstrate a quick down and dirty roll because they're not really that much of a challenge, especially not for the Exalted. So if both Ba and Metal want to make an attack roll of choice, you can pick any of your attributes, plus probably close combat for both of you. That's going to be makes the most sense. Both of you are melee characters.
I was going to go with physique and just kind of throw them around.
Oh, sure, that's fine. You can use physique. That's cool. And since both of you made me laugh so hard I had to move away from my microphone, you both definitely get stunt dice. The base difficulty for smashing through extras and scattering them is difficulty 3. Any extra successes you get will just be flavor and how cool and effective you do it. So go ahead and roll and let me know what successes you get. In case anybody didn't know in the audience, they are rolling d10s. Obviously, this is Onyx Path Con.
Right.
We're looking for target number 7, and your 10s double.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to use my stunt die.
Okay.
On this.
All right.
And so I have 10 dice.
All right. Oh, right, Rich. I don't know if you remembered off of the cheat sheet, but you can keep your stunt dice and bank them for later.
Oh,
or you can use them right now.
No, I'm going to bank them. This is just swatting flies.
Okay, cool. You can bank them for a later roll if you don't feel like describing that action later, but you can also spend them to boost someone else's roll after you've seen the result of the roll. Is that what you were going to say, Neil?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, so it's physique and
pick your favorite attribute. It probably is force for you because that's your highest one.
No, finesse is my highest.
Oh, finesse is your highest one. That's fine too.
Finesse is your.
Yeah.
You're a nimble bear.
He's a multiple actions kind of bear.
I see my way through
thinking
things.
like a mauling, many attacks kind of deal.
You just made him a World of Warcraft druid tank, is what you're telling me.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So how many do we need? I got 3. I got a 7, 8, and a 7.
Okay, you needed 3 to do anything, and anything extra would be flavor.
Right.
So you got 4, you got 3.
I got
All
3.
Right. Go ahead and tell me how you scattered these bandits, and also, are you killing them, or are you just flinging them around?
I'm just flinging them around. I mean, okay. I don't know what. So the Diclave may be doing, but
yeah. So Metal runs in and pulls out their Diclave and runs in is just like, "Stop, you vagrants!" and like starts just swinging wildly, like not to hit them, but to like make them try to get out of the way of it until they just have to run because I'm just like madly thrashing Metal at them,
as it were.
If like this were an anime, there would be a shot from like where I'm standing, just right behind me, just me going like, "Oh my god!" And in the future, like Metal is just like a blur with a cloud above them. Uh-huh. I'm just like,
guys,
you folks remember the A team at all when Mr. T would attack people?
I'm gonna go with Toph from Avatar. That's all I can think of right now.
Fly through the air. That's what, just basically tossing them up in the air, and they're coming down over there somewhere else.
Yes, amazing.
The bandits around Metal. The second the Diclave is out and like swooshing through the air, they just fucking scatter. Like nobody is having any of that. You are too scary. They take off
That
panicked.
worked perfectly.
And Bob just tossing bandits into the air, and they fall down elsewhere.
Like bandits do.
Falling down in the background of the rest of the shot as it pans back over to the
If I
party.
could do it, I'm going to toss a few over.
Sure.
Where Roost is standing, just over top, and so they land on the other side of Roost.
A bandit has landed near Roost.
That was for
you're
you.
muted.
Sorry. Someone named Neall Price dropped a spoiler in the Exalted Discord, and I'm having to cut it off. So, Neall Price.
Damn you, Neall.
Neall Price.
Get out of there. Is he knocked out, or is the bandit just like chilling?
He is in the process of trying to scramble back to his feet in a panic because a giant dude just threw him through the air at you.
All right, like big sigh, end of the bow in the middle of his chest, just pin him back to the ground. Just keep watching.
He makes
like stay.
So noise, and he's stuck. You don't even. Yep. So this chaos has certainly left an open opportunity for Harvester to go speak to these funeral priests who are now looking around like, what the fuck just happened? and you can see that they're like, don't hurt us, to the crazy person with the diaclave, wild-eyed and like, and the person who just hurled bandits through the air.
Okay, since no one else is going to do it.
You're the guy who's good at talking to people. So.
Yeah, I am.
I'll talk to him if you want.
I can if you want, yeah.
No.
Harvester's going to step forward, and he's going to say, "Be not afraid, priests of the dead. We are travelers from a faraway land, and we have come to save you."
One of them brave enough to speak up is like, I see that, good sir. Who might all of you be? You can tell that they're still kind of... You kind of look pretty Death Knight-y, right? Like you can tell that like there's a diaclave over here, there's a big bow back there, that dude threw a guy over his shoulder, and you're like covered in the trappings of death and also peacock feathers, and they're like, that's an anathema circle, great.
I am called the ceaseless harvester of wisdom, and I am but a humble servant of the Mask of Winters.
The funeral priests look at each other and are like, what would you ask of us, sir?
The same we would ask of any travelers, news and tidings.
So you are trying to convince them to
to
tell you what's going on. Calm
Yeah.
down a little bit and tell you what's going on. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds like it's going to be a persuade social action.
Okay. So finesse and presence, you think?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, that'll be 8. Cool. So I got 3 successes.
Okay, that is certainly enough to get them to relax a little bit. But you're going to have to keep talking to them before you can get information out of them. So that is the first step towards getting them to chill. They then put their hands down, and you can see the group, the tension in the group relax as it's become pretty clear that like you're not here to murder them yet.
You never know.
If they deserve it. Do they deserve it?
The one in front, a tall, pale, androgynous person whose face is covered by a mask, and they have like a priestly headdress on, tucks their arms into their sleeves, and says, what is it you would want to know of us, good sir?
Firstly, let me say, I love the style.
Thank
you. Second, clearly you are responsible for dealing with the funerary rites and the undead of this area, if I'm not mistaken.
we do perform funerary rites and do help the dead find their rest and their peace in the next cycle of reincarnation.
As they should. After they've done their due service in creation, of course.
You can see that makes the priest visibly uncomfortable, but they decide not to say anything about it.
Harvester smiles. He knows, he can see their discomfort, and it pleases him.
And it is sweet.
All right. Tell us of the dispensation of the kingdom since the Walker in Darkness strode through these lands.
So at that, the priest then recounts to you the details that you guys set forward when we started brainstorming at the beginning of the session. Like, there's a nearby Shadowland. There's all this bizarre magical corruption and strangeness that's going on. One of them pipes up to tell you about the ill omens of the underworld sky being layered over creation sky and the strange feedback that keeps happening. And then then the priest who had been conversing with you previously says, but there is also the trouble that one of the Walker's emissaries has stationed himself in the Shadowland as a petty tyrant and continues to demand tribute in both grave goods and lives, which is causing all sorts of strife and discomfort in the remaining people in creation.
That's a disgusting and dishonorable position to be in, and it needs to be rectified immediately.
Yes, we must defeat this villain.
Yeah, the fact that
screaming it from the background.
the fact that the emissary ruler isn't serving the Mask of Winters, it's completely disturbing to me.
No,
we need
wait,
to rectify
what?
this.
Wait a minute, what? It's just all bad. It's all
Never
bad.
mind, Thrasher. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, your lordship, I'm sure ourselves and the good people who live around here would be most obliged if you would find this emissary by the name of the Burden of Ages, rather the title, the Burden of Ages, and depose him.
If we put them together, she's like out of nowhere, she's just like right behind the group, like dropping the other guy on the pile.
I literally jump.
Yeah.
Thrasher's like, what?
I go, if you put them together, there's ceaseless burden. It seems appropriate.
At the mention of the Nemissary's title, Harvester gets a kind of introspective look on his face a little bit, and he says, do you have any knowledge of who this Nemissary was before their death? Do you know, were they a soldier of the kingdom? Were they a petty ruler? Do you know anything about them?
Were they a bear?
They were not a bear.
Okay.
I know very little, Prince of the Earth, but I can tell you that it's very likely that this emissary was perhaps a petty tyrant. It would be best if you wanted more information about him, it would be best if you traveled into the Shadowland and investigated in his own territory. I'm afraid that that's not something I've spent much time investigating on myself.
Fair enough.
Which, out of character, sets us up for a good place to transition towards that, unless the rest of you have anything that you want from these funeral priests. Y'all good?
I think I'm good. I'm
Okay.
still learning.
Yeah.
Although
They look like they're underfed and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, the bandits. Well, the funeral priests look all right because they
Okay.
they've come to this area from elsewhere to help with the problem, so they're doing okay. It was the bandits that you flung around who appear to be people who have turned to banditry and robbing other people out of desperation because this petty tyrant emissary is got a chokehold on this land and is draining resources from it, compounding all the other supernatural problems this area has.
can I like kind of tell that? And if so, can I change their fate a little?
Sure. Do you want to use your advantage to do so?
Yes, I think. Where is that? Sorry, I'm still learning.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, I think I just want to see if I can, like, you know, make them want to turn their lives around. Like, just like poke them a little bit in the right direction.
Sure.
Be like, you could work with the funeral priest and you could protect them across the land instead.
Sure. You have the bandit who you like dropped right there, and you can target him with your destiny weaving effect that you get just for being sidereal. So you want to assign him like the destiny of being like a companion to the priest or a guardian to the priest.
Yeah, like a protector of the priest. Yeah.
All right, sure.
I'd make it all resolve.
Yes, perfect.
They all remember me anyway, so why not?
Meanwhile, I'm going to loom over the head priest that Arthur was talking to and just go, so where you all going to be having for dinner tonight?
Hang on just a sec. Dixie, you don't have to roll for that. You just spend a mote.
Okay.
Cool. So the head priest looks at Ba and is like, a modest dinner of tea over rice.
You got a little extra rice I could borrow there?
They gesture to their attendant priests and someone comes up and offers you like a small sack of rice.
Is it cooked?
No, it's raw.
Well, I'm eating rice that's not cooked.
They're not eating dinner yet.
They're not eating dinner. You just like sulk because they were like,
any leftovers.
Here's
we have our own food, Barre. No need to intimidate the poor gentleman.
I'm just hungry right now. That's all.
Eat some jerky. There's some in your bag. I put it there. You just keep forgetting.
Hey, Ba, if you eat it raw, you'll be full later.
I heard that trick before, and then the bird blows up. No way.
Oh, I totally forgot to come back around to your focus will action that you said you were going to take. The Discord reminded me.
Okay. So a focus will is going to be essence plus sagacity, difficulty 0. So that's for me. That's going to be sagacity 5. Nice. Essence 1, not as great, but okay. So 6 dice. 5 successes.
All
not
right.
bad.
So you gain will 1 for 1 since this difficulty is 0, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you have 5 will banked up for casting spells later.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Cool.
It does say I do know that any unspent will is lost at the end of the scene, since the scene is ending and is carry over to the next scene. Or...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Since you weren't going to be able to, since you described it, but you really weren't going to be able to do anything with it this scene, I don't see any reason to penalize you for doing that.
You see Harvester's anima briefly flare. It's purple and black all around him, and then you see little white occult lines being drawn through it, and then his anima just simply fades away.
Do you want the 2 stunt dice to see if you get any more will, or you want to bank them for later?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Y'all are having so much fun just throwing mechanics out there to see what everybody says about them.
Yeah. Oh, that's another 2 successes. 7 will.
You better do something really cool.
Yeah, you better do something really cool later.
Probably should have chosen better spells then.
Like just like
I could talk to a ghost real good.
Ghost face or something.
I got momentarily distracted by the Discord trying to figure out what we're talking about. I see you all. I see you. All right. So with that in mind, why don't we move on to the characters embarking into the Shadowland? So you all described the Shadowland as being created from a war. The Walker caused it. We'll lean to our resident abyssal here. Was it just the loss of life, or was there more insidious things involved in the creation of this Shadowland?
Harvester treats you all to a excited but horrifying treatise on the creations of Shadowlands. It's not just the physical numbers of death; it's the sheer suffering that they endure in the dying. So a torture chamber over time, even though it only kills maybe like 10 people, if it kills them real slow, that could form a Shadowland. Totally do it. Whereas, you have to kill like 100 or maybe 1,000 people just to get the same amount. So
if I were to torture you to death right now, I could create a Shadowland?
That's an interesting question. The effect on exalts creating Shadowlands, I don't know, but there's some interesting papers that a contemporary of mine has published on the idea.
Bruce just keeps rolling her eyes as he talks. Like, everyone knows this. It's like, this is common knowledge where I'm from. What are you?
Yeah.
Stop it.
I had no idea.
Why is he mansplaining death to me?
Yeah, nobody's better at creating Shadowlands than the Sidereals. They have fucked up so hard, so many times over creation.
And yet, no one remembers that. Huh.
I've never heard that.
I'm still dying over he's mansplaining death to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is it still daytime?
Yes. I'm going to say yes.
I heard yes first. Cool.
Sure
Play
didn't
it like
take that long.
it'll be like an improv show. I heard yes first.
I say we're approaching dusk, maybe?
Okay, so it's still daytime, but nearing the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you all know, like, just from being people who live in creation, that while you can enter the underworld through a Shadowland during the day, the effect is much stronger at night. So and things could, given all the other strange things that are going on in this area, things could get weird or worse. Are you going to enter the Shadowlands during the day when your passage will certainly be safe? Or are you going to try to enter during the night when entrance is totally guaranteed but might be a good bit riskier?
My virtue is courage, and therefore we must go in at night.
Okay. Oh, I totally forgot to ask what everybody's virtues are, even though I wrote them, but that's for the audience's sake.
I have a minor virtue for loyalty, so I'm going to just go with Thrash there.
Okay. What's your major virtue?
Wonder.
Okay. And Harvester, your major virtue?
My major virtue is ambition. My minor virtue is wonder.
What is your ambition?
Ooh, let's say depose the rulers of this area and install loyal servants to the Mask of Winters.
Okay, cool. And Metal, you just told us that your major virtue is courage, but what's your minor virtue?
My minor virtue is discipline. You can see
Okay.
how well I hold to that.
So you're not doing great so far.
Hey, no. If you had told me to stop, I would have. That's why I counted.
And Ba, what's your major virtue?
Mine is loyalty, which is
Okay.
why I'm around these people. And minor is compassion.
Okay.
These people.
These non-bears.
Hey, Monica,
Yeah.
I have a setting question for
Sure.
you that needs to be adjudicated.
All
So,
right.
as a moon shadow, my active anima effect is Speaker for the Dead,
Mhm.
which grants me diplomatic immunity from spirits, Raksha, and ghosts.
Mhm.
Now, remind me, does that also count for hungry ghosts, or no? I don't think it does.
I don't think it does, because hungry ghosts don't really think or offer hospitality.
Did not think it. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, like, hungry ghosts aren't thinking beings. Like, they're just leftover angry emotion.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No. Totally.
yeah. So, like, a higher soul ghost, absolutely. A hungry ghost doesn't care. You know,
I've seen
like,
it. I've seen it going either way in a couple times in games. So yeah. Thank you for clarifying.
For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to say no.
No, it's canon now. I'm going to write that in somewhere.
All right. Well, we'll see what Eric and Vance have to say about that.
What Dixie has
You
to
probably
say about
see it in
it.
the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say they're watching. They will tell you right now.
You've got Eric and Vance. Also, you've got your creative director and the Exalted
Like,
developer.
literally right here. Bold, Neil. Bold. All right. So we're going to... Are we in
Ambition.
consensus to go in at night? I got distracted by virtues.
Sure. I like nighttime.
Okay.
Okay by me.
All right. So when the sun sets and the stars come out and the moon and everything gets dark, everything also gets super weird, as the priests previously described. And as you all set up in your very awesome world building when we started this, you can, when you look up at the sky, you both see the constellations of heaven, but then there's a weird, like, after image or double exposure like shift, and you can also see the underworld stars at the same time. And staring at it too long gives you a headache.
Okay.
It
I
feels
definitely
weird.
do that.
It feels weird and unnatural.
Honestly, my major virtue is wonder, so I probably do that too.
I mean, it's fascinating, but also horrifying.
I pull out like a little like looking glass type thing. I'm just trying to like take a measurement here. Like, what is this? This is new. This is new for me.
It is very strange and unusual, and you've never seen anything like it before, and it would be totally worth studying in a longer game.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna actually do like one of these Exalted extended projects on it, okay? She's just making a note to take back some info to you, Sean.
Yeah. Totally cool. Yes. So when the sun goes down and then the Shadowland becomes more apparent, you can see like ghostly buildings like almost rising up out of the ground, and the sort of softly luminescent figures of ghosts going about their daily lives happening here. But you can also see that the Shadowland is protected. There are clearly some manner of defense ghosts, like army ghosts, people who are clearly armed. They have ghostly armor on, they have weapons, they're making a patrol. This is clearly someone's stronghold, and they are fully willing to defend it. So how are you going to get in? And like, you could just walk in, but there's clearly people trying to protect it, so that could cause problems.
Are ghost soldiers extras as well? Or are they?
Depends on how dangerous they are, but these ones probably are. But they're a little, given that they are the undead, they are pretty well equipped, and they are the servants of an undead tyrant. They are not quite the desperate opposition that the bandits were. So you would actually have to fight these guys for real, not just throw them around like toys.
Okay, Monica,
Yeah.
Are there corpses anywhere near here? Are there corpses anywhere around here?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, no.
Are there more or less than 20?
A little less, in the 20-ish, but not more than 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, there was a big nasty battle that was fought here. There's plenty of dead bodies.
Cool.
And what's the architecture like where we are? Is it just like a battlefield, or is there something else? I might have missed something. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't describe it. Why don't you tell me what you think would be cool?
I feel like in my brain we're at like a keep, like
Okay.
some kind of large, actual like
With
I don't know how to say it.
battlements and shit.
Yeah, like
Okay.
but like it's Shadowland, so it could be weird. I don't know. It
Yeah.
could be like a keep made of bones and
Definitely.
and other weird gothy shit.
A keep made of bones, and maybe also things that are probably teeth,
Yeah.
like really big teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So yeah, like a rampart.
That's the word I couldn't remember a second ago. Ramparts.
Yeah,
Thank you.
a rampart that during the day looked like it was made out of stone, but now that it's nighttime, it's definitely bone and some kind of giant teeth. And that's where the guards are patrolling. There is a gate where clearly you can cross in and out, and like they're checking people coming in, and it doesn't appear to be hostile. But they will know that you are present if you simply just go in the front door, guns a-blazing. You do have a moon shadow, though.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Can you
Oh,
explain that?
he basically grants diplomatic immunity.
Oh, true.
Just by being around, and especially with ghosts.
Yeah.
So you can basically be like, I'm with the Death Lords, and then they're like, all right, cool.
And they are ghosts, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone walking around you see so far, the residents of this place are ghosts. There's probably other things that live here too, but everything you can see currently are ghosts. People.
You all know from traveling around with me that one of my charms is command the dead. I can go up to any undead being and basically just like look them in the eye and dominate their will. So I can just go up to one of these guys and get him to walk us through the keep if you want. Anyone?
That seems like a low stress
Yeah,
way to proceed.
let's go.
Let's do it.
Cool.
As long as it looks cool while you're doing it.
It always looks cool when I'm doing it. Do you see these peacock feathers?
All right. So as you approach, there's just it's a normal checkpoint. There's like 2 guards on either side, and they're just making sure people aren't coming in to fuck up their city. What do you say to them?
We're coming in to fuck up your city. Please take us immediately to your master.
Also, Danielle, you were muted.
No, I'm not. I was whispering.
Oh, okay. Are you actually saying we're here to?
He said it.
It doesn't matter what I say.
Oh,
I'm just going to
right.
dominate their will anyway.
Okay, so you're using Command the Dead.
Harvester, have you seen these peacock feathers? Harvester gives no fucks.
Right, so you were specifically using Command the Dead to be like,
yep,
take me to your leader. Absolutely.
And actually, so Command the Dead requires me to spend 1 mote, but Banquet of Cruelty allows me to get 3 motes back every time I establish dominance over a ghost via just talking or violence.
Right. So here's how this goes. Also, the ghosts are like the lowest tier of enemies, so it would be 1 mote for them. It's 1, 2, or 3.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So here's how this goes. You use Command the Dead. You spend the mote. You get the effect. They obey you. You've terrified them, devastated them. Cruel Banquet kicks in. You get that mote back.
Great.
That's
cool.
the order in which it goes.
Let's do this. Force plus presence roll, difficulty 3.
Yep.
Okay.
You didn't bank any stunt dice, did you?
No,
you used them. Okay.
No, what can I use them here or?
Yeah, actually, you can gain stunt dice because your description counts. So.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be force plus presence. 7, 8, 9. 5 successes.
That's more than 3.
Yeah.
All right, so you get your mote back from Cruel Banquet. How does you describe how you like seize control over these nameless ghosts?
Okay. Harvester says, take us to your master immediately. And they start to scoff at him. They start to curse at him. They start to have some sort of antagonistic guard response. And then the Harvester's cast mark appears and his anima just starts to glow out very slightly. Since I spent a mote to do this. And their skin turns a little translucent and starts rippling in the colors of his anima. And they just sort of straighten up and clearly uncomfortably start walking to take us to the master.
So you want them to march you guys straight to like what's his face? Forgetting my own NPC's name. The Burden of Ages like house, his stronghold.
Yeah. Does anyone else have a problem with this? Let's just.
I have so many problems with this.
And also now that
speak your piece.
Now that I've activated my anima, I have Speaker for the Dead activated. So, yeah. Unless someone has a better idea or they want to go in stealthily.
So these two, let me put it this way. These 2 guards who you've seized control over will certainly take Harvester right on up to the Nemissary's doorstep. The rest of you don't have to go with him.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I go stealthy so that I can watch, and if he gets into shit, I can either save him or fuck off?
Yeah, you sure can.
I definitely wish to be his tiny guardian.
Okay. All right. So Metal is definitely going with Harvester.
I'll just walk along with him.
All right.
I mean, if you're a bear, you could look like a bear person. Also, I think you have a flying form too, Rich, if you wanted to be a flying person. Do I need to roll for my stealthy stuff, Monica?
Yeah.
That finesse stealth?
Finesse and stealth. That sounds good. Why don't you give me a cool description of how you disappear from sight?
Well, he is taking up all of the attention. Actually, I should roll first to find out if I even do it, because I could buck.
you can choose, if you describe your action, you'll get your stunt dice, then you can choose whether or not you want to add them and boost your pool up more, or if you want to bank them for later. So let's hear how cool it is.
Okay, good to know. So while everybody is focusing on Peacock McStrut's pants, she just kind of like sidles off behind everybody else and just kind of wedges herself behind one of these giant bone columns. And if you're watching from a distance, if this was a cool anime, you would just see this little shadow like sprint up from like tooth to, skull to get up onto the top of the thing and then just perch atop of it while him and everybody else starts going through. Just this weird little shadow shape, all spindly.
Okay, very cool. Definitely worth stunt dice. I looked at your charm sheet and I noticed that you both have a stealth excellency and perfect shadow stillness. Do you want to use them both?
Do I need to use perfect shadow stillness if it's not? Oh yeah, I guess it's not turn by turn, but
no,
sure.
If you just commit the moat and then you get the double 9s for the whole scene.
Okay, well let me roll a shit ton of dice right now because I've never gotten to do that in Exalted before. Then
yeah, are you dropping the moat on your excellency too?
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
do the excellency.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god, I'm rolling so many dice.
There is no kill like overkill. Do it.
Also, did you give me stunt dice for this?
I did.
I'm gonna bank those. How many?
Gonna bank them? All right, 2. Stunt dice are always 2.
That's what I thought. They're gonna go over to the side because I have cool things I can do with stunt dice. This is my first time rolling an Exalted, and I'm rolling 14 dice, and I feel like a badass right now, just so you know. I could double my stealth. Oh, and 10s double? Okay, so stop exploding.
Yeah, 10s and 9s are doubling on this because you use perfect shadow stillness.
Okay, well, I got 7 successes.
Okay. You're gone. Just poof.
The power. Okay, rolling an Exalted is fun. Even in essence, this is powerful. Like I can barely fit this in one hand.
Now you understand.
I do. I apologize to every time I tried to tell you guys we didn't need to roll buckets of dice in this version. Because that made me feel like a god.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoop.
Vindication.
All right. Y'all are
okay.
There's a reason I hired you two. Okay.
So just for your note, and I'll try to remember later too. If we get into a fight, which we might, it seems like that's distinctly possible. You will have the advantage of an ambush round because you have stealth established, and also you can get into the building unmolested. No one's going to bother you. Very few things here could possibly be noticing difficulty 7 on to spot you.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to follow them around then wherever they're going. I'm just going to try to Assassin's Creed my way across the parapets.
Very cool. All right. So that's going to lead us right up to the confrontation with the Nemissary. And I think we're like right at what would be break time, right? Like
a little bit ahead of the break.
So this would be a perfect time to take a break. Get some water, get a drink, whatever. We'll take our short break and then we'll come back for the finale.
Yeah, and then
with this Nemissary.
If we want to do like a little denouement, if you just want to, improv something, or we can just talk to the fans if we get done a little bit early too, because we're just kind of busting through this because Neall and everybody else have chosen the burst through the dam approach for everything we've done so far.
Straight through to morning.
Yeah, there's no going around right now. All right, so Tyler, just let us know. We've got a producer on here. Just let us know whenever we're off the air.
Yep.
we're back.
Hello.
Thank you for bearing with us. We had a bit of an audio issue while we were gone. Someone's headphones came unpaired, but now we're here. We're playing.
But really, they're only bearing with Rich.
Oh no.
I barely understood that.
Sorry to make it necessary for y'all to bear with us.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh no, are we singing?
Again, yes.
Now it's Disney tunes. All right. Well,
Sorry, the Exalted Essence demo is over. It is show tunes time now.
Oh yeah.
Sing along with Disney songs. I showed my age.
I also grew up with those too because we're the same age.
The Disney sing along. All right.
We had those.
And when we last left our intrepid heroes, Monica.
Yes. Harvester and Metal and Ba were being delivered to the Nemissary, who is the petty tyrant of this particular stronghold and has been trying to maybe curry favor with the Death Lord or something like that, but is being a real oppressive dickhead. And you're going to do something about it. Harvester seized control over a ghost with his charm, Command the Dead, and basically was like, take me to your leader. And they didn't have the power to refuse. So Harvester and his entourage are being led through the streets of this Shadowland keep to the center of it, where the ghost is has his stronghold, like is holding court. You know, this the seat of power in the center.
There aren't any ghost pies, are there?
If I said yes, are you going to wander off after them?
What's a ghost pie?
Yeah,
no ghost pie.
It's like a cow pie. You don't want to know.
Oh,
great.
Only your voice of reason was there.
Yeah, I'm not here. I'm up above. I'm a shadow. I'm gone. I'm the
thanks
mist.
for ruining the fun, voiceless sidereal.
Boss certainly can be tempted by the smell of ghostly pies, but the food of the underworld is unsatisfying for a person of creation. I mean, you might eat it anyway.
I believe I would know that at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it smells tempting. Whether or not you really want to eat it is up to you. You're a lunar, you'll be all right.
I'll be fine.
I don't know how good it's going to taste, but that's your decision to make.
But you're not going to die.
But you're not going to die. It's not even, maybe at worst, may make your tummy upset.
This is for all the pie folks out there. Now you know more.
So there is this seat of power in the center of this keep where the Nemissary has his court, which is heavily fortified. You can see that he has trained archers and some necromantic constructs similar to your bone lion and other hideous undead things. Clearly the Nemissary or some members of their court are capable of also casting the dread necromancy.
Necromancy.
The dread necromancy. The audience hall for this ghost is dark and macabre with skull-like chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. It's not very brightly lit, which probably doesn't matter that much to most of the dead. And there is like a dais with a big old bone throne upon which the Nemissary in their strange corpse body sits. It looks like they have possessed this corpse that they've stitched together, probably through some necromantic ritual, out of like a bunch of different things. So it's a little lopsided, but also particularly dangerous. And it looks like they have even sewn like pieces of armor into their own body by means of protection. They don't have a face so much as just like a helmet with glowing eye spots. What are you saying as you approach this ominous looking figure?
I think Harvester is muttering about how gauche everything is.
Oh, peacock feathers! How could you say that?
It's just, you need to remind the dead of what they've lost. You can't just hit them with death and more death. People get that. Like, it's just, this whole place needs a makeover, and I'm here to give it one.
Are you an interior designer of this all now?
I work for the Mask of Winter's Department of the Interior. All right. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
As long as she's breathing.
She's like gonna die over there.
I could use command the dead again, but I've only got 4 motes left because I spent one earlier. And it probably hasn't been long enough for me to pick up combat.
No, not yet.
Combat. So
no.
Okay. So yeah, just I'll lead the entourage who's following us. Balray, I think you're like a bird perched in a windowsill.
No.
You're
just me, just with you.
All right, cool.
Yeah. I haven't done any of the stealthy things.
No. What's stealth? What's that?
All right. Then Harvester's going to walk forward and boldly say, greetings, my lord. Thank you for your hospitality and welcoming us into your humble abode. He stresses humble to let the emissary know he's being bitterly sarcastic. It's devastating.
Devastating sarcasm technique.
Yeah.
The ghost possessing this corpse figure does not have much of a face to show its displeasure, but its body language sure indicates that your biting remark certainly landed.
You know what I'm gonna do? So I have motive discerning technique.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna commit a mote.
Okay.
And I can ask up to my essence of the following questions. So I can only one.
One, yeah.
So for an influence actions, read intentions, targets motives. You know what? Let's go for something unusual.
Okay.
I've committed a mote from motive discerning technique.
All right.
What haven't I noticed about this emissary just from taking everything in?
What haven't you noticed yet? All right.
Yeah. Something about how they're sitting or their weapon styles or something.
Yeah, they are, in addition to being a necromancer, you can see that like leaning up against their bone throne is a big ol' fuck off axe. So they are a pretty competent melee fighter as well as a necromancer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
As Harvester's speaking, he's going to make a couple florid gestures, one of which is a sort of wave in front of Metal Thrasher's face for a moment to get their attention, and
Metal
then just sort
Thrasher.
I'm absolutely not distracted. Definitely distracted. I'll even say, like, I'm not distracted. Why are you doing that? Like, as you draw my attention, because I would like counting bones or something.
Yeah, and Harvester just sort of draws your attention as he's speaking to the axe, so you take note of it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What's above us?
Like
a dome, or
it's like a vaulted ceiling.
Yeah.
There's rafters, there's chandeliers.
Unlit candles still in them? Or?
Totally. Are you thinking about flying up there or knocking them down, or
I don't know yet.
Well, you're considering. All right.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things you can do with stunts, besides just describe your action, is that you get some liberty to dramatically edit the scene. So if you're like, I told you there's chandeliers there. So if you're like, there's some unlit candles up there, as you're describing that action, by virtue of stunting, the person running the game, the storyteller, I'm like, yeah, there's candles up there because you stunted. So if there's other things that you want to establish that make sense for the scene, you can do that as part of describing your action.
What I was curious about was how much of this throne room thing is basically like sort of decrepit and falling apart. Are there like large chunks of what the original stone this place was made up of, that have fallen out of the walls, things like that?
The Burden of Ages is an ostentatious asshole. So his seat of power is in pretty good shape. But if you want to find like some weak spots in the walls or some rubble that's maybe left over from when he took over it, or some rafters or whatever that are perhaps in more disrepair than he would care to admit, those can certainly be there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If anybody looks really hard and knows who I am, I'm lurking in a corner right now.
Nah.
You don't have to look. That's fine.
So
y'all are probably used to me just like disappearing randomly to show back up later when it matters.
When Destiny says you should.
So does Harvester want to banter with this guy a little bit, or do you want to cut directly into the plan that you told me about when we were off air?
Let's banter with him just a little bit.
All right.
Just to make the crowd happy.
Are you making it clear that you're here with the Mask of Winners?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I would gain limit for dissembling like that, I think.
Okay. So the Burden of Ages is like, Dog of the Mask, what are you doing here?
Dog? Really? You see the feathers?
Bird isn't a turn of phrase.
I think the word you're looking for is vulture.
See?
There
you go. See,
Vulture of the Mask, what are you doing here?
More like
trash.
She's
more like turkey.
Still alive, and she's a much better insulter than you are.
Oh, I'm really good at insults.
Yeah.
Well, could you at least answer the question about what you're doing here?
All right. We can't help but notice that walking through here, you've kind of run this place into the ground. Even running a Shadowland, you're not doing a great job of it.
Even a Shadowland.
Are you trying to provoke him into doing something stupid, or do you just want me to continue saying humorous things in this voice?
Little bit of A, little bit of B.
Okay.
Harvester knows this is going to end in violence.
Right.
So he is saying these things purely for his own amusement, which the other party full well knows.
So you can make that provoke, or you can use persuade basically to provoke him and use that to like encourage him to act rashly.
I can do that, and if he attacks me,
yeah,
then
Boss can't be too mad at you then.
Well, if he attacks me, I believe he gets a negative bonus, maybe? No, I don't think so. I don't think we qualify the diplomatic immunity that much. But okay.
I'm going to amble over to where maybe it looks like the walls are not quite as strong, or like they could come down, but he has kept them up because, as you say, he wants them up, but there might be cracks or mortars falling out or something like that.
Cool. You can definitely find a spot in the wall that's not in as good as repair as he'd like it to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Amble in my bear-like way.
So his major intimacy is he's got two intimacies, basically the living are cattle and the weak are objects. Both the one of which at least I think applies to you trying to provoke him into being like, you're no good at running a Shadowland, and those both seem to be like poking him right in the intimacies.
Yeah.
Which will reduce the normal, because that is actually in line with his intimacies, and you're making him pissed off because you're not doing the thing that actually makes this easier.
Yeah.
It will take it from difficulty 3 down to difficulty 1.
So it's the living are cattle, and what was the other one?
The weak are objects.
Ah.
I got your object right here, pal.
Yeah. What a dick.
Yeah. A tool is only as good as the hand that guides it. And clearly your hand is palsied and lame. So
And a poo-poo.
So, yeah, if you want to run a Shadowland this way, the living have to suffer, and you're not doing a great job of causing suffering.
Aside from to your eyes. I can't say that, but I'm not. I
right,
really want to just be a dick right now.
Do you want to make that roll?
Yes,
It's definitely a presence roll.
it absolutely is a presence roll. So, would you say this is finesse or force? You know what? I think this is actually force because I'm just like
Yeah, it's pretty forceful.
morale beating them. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty forceful.
Yeah. 7. Hot damn! 6 successes.
Whew. All right, now you're good. Now I have to look at the cheat sheet too. All right, so you have more than enough successes to succeed on persuading. You beat the difficulty. You have 2 extra successes. That's persuading. If you want to do other things to him, you can use your extra successes to further influence him. So, like, if you want to both convince him to attack you and act rashly, and then instill a feeling of fear or anger towards you, and start to create an intimacy with you or whatever, or read one of his intentions, you could also do that too. Take a look at the influence actions on the cheat sheet and let me know what you think.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I actually am taking a persuade action, and I really want to get him riled up and get him attacking in a way that is not tactically beneficial for him.
Okay. Perfect. So you're persuading and instilling then?
Yes.
Sounds great. All right. What exactly is it that you want him to do action-wise? Like get up off his throne and like at you or whatever?
Yeah, basically.
Cool?
Come
All
at me, bro.
Yeah. He indignantly like stands up out of his chair and like the corpse body of the emissary is possessing is just absolutely massive, like pretty close to 7 feet tall, clearly kitted out for like beating ass, and he grabs his axe.
There you go. That's what I was waiting for.
Harvester turns towards Thrasher and goes, "All right, I warmed him up for you. Go get him."
So the moment he stands,
yeah,
I don't push.
right.
But I gently like guide Harvester off to the side so that whenever he stands with his big axe, it is like I have kind of pushed Harvester behind me and I now have my Diclave in front of him and goes, "Oh, I'm so ready for this."
I'd like to commit my 2 motes to change to the hybrid bear man form.
Okay.
And I would like to commit my 2 motes to go ahead and go into graceful crane stance for the next scene.
Okay. Anyone else have anything we want to set up before we roll initiative? Because that's what's going to happen here.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'm just going to go ahead and commit that graceful crane stance. Because I feel like. What are you doing? What is Rich doing right now? Does he have a bear head? Oh my God! Rich has a bear head. Can you even still hear us?
Can you hear
us?
Just about hear you, Dixie.
Oh my God. I'm not sure that's going to be tenable for the whole.
What?
That was so good, though.
I love that you have that just ready. You just had that. You just had that ready.
Sometimes you have a bear mask in your house.
Sometimes you just have a bear mask in your house.
You're putting it on over.
There we go.
Okay. Yes. There we go. That's it. That's it right there.
It's me. No, it's the bear. No, it's me.
All right. So Rich proc DBT. I proc graceful crane.
Right. Anybody else have anything they want to power up before, in this instant before we do this?
All of my things are spins. I'm good.
All right, you're good.
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, so here's how joining battle works. Everybody rolls highest attribute, whatever attribute you feel is appropriate, plus a combat ability. And then we see basically who goes first, PCs or storyteller characters. So I'm going to start rolling for some NPCs.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we rolling, like, are we rolling successes or?
Yeah, we're counting successes?
Yes, counting successes. This
Yeah,
is a roll works the same as all rolls in Essence work exactly the same way.
A shitty roll.
We are going first.
I hope so. Me and my 8 dice just failed the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's still sevens?
Still
Yeah.
sevens.
7, 8, 10, 8. You say we re-roll 10s?
Yep. Or no, they double. They double.
They
Sorry.
double. All right.
Yep.
The only reason I got 2 was because I had a 110, so it exploded.
Monica, I have a thing called Crushing Might.
Yeah.
Which says I add 1 automatic success to any force plus physique, which is when I'm using roll that is not an attack. Does that
count?
apply to initiative?
It sure does.
Okay.
It sure does.
I'm still rolling for my storyteller characters. One sec. Just to see. I think they're not doing great. So, all right. Player characters. What's the highest total among you?
I have 6.
3. You've got
6.
6. 2. All right. So PCs have 6. The NPCs unfortunately rolled like garbage, and their highest was 4. So one of the player characters goes first. So this, for the audience and for my players who are unfamiliar, this uses a totally non-traditional initiative system. We roll to figure out which side acts first, because it's good to not be totally random at the beginning. So one of the player characters can act first, and then the storyteller characters, if they are important, like the emissary, can interrupt you.
Right.
But otherwise, you guys tag each other in right up until the enemies go, nope, I'm important, I get to interrupt you.
I'm going to try to bring a wall down on this guy. So, you know, I don't know if I should do. I don't want to do that if you're like getting into close combat with him.
I'm probably going to get in close combat with him.
So I should probably bring the wall down. Then you dive in and start hacking.
Yes, that sounds like a great plan. Let's do it.
And Harvester can definitely go last. He's just going to start focusing will and running around to find a sufficient source of bodies.
I'll be after Danielle, after their character, after their
Okay.
character's done.
So many dice. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with Ba, who wants to tear down the house.
Basically, yeah, I'm gonna take a huge section of the wall out and just hurl it at this guy.
All right, give me a cool description of how this happens.
Well, I'm in bear form, or bear man form.
Bear man form.
Drive my massive claws into the walls where I've already seen that there's cracks and things, just ripping it completely out and slamming it sideways, just doing a little pivot and throwing the things at this guy. All of the wall that I can possibly shove at him, I'm going to throw it right at him. And then, this is actually the stunt.
Okay.
Is once that's going like an avalanche on him, I am going to ride the biggest one right at him.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, all right. First off, let's
take this one apart.
Right. Let's take. All right. So, sounds like tearing the wall down is probably the majority of your action, and then you can use your reflexive move to surf after him. To get into combat with him. What do you want the wall falling on him to do? Or do you just want to pull it down and like have that be a cool thing that happened?
Oh no, I wanted to batter
do
him.
something. Yeah, okay.
But if there's a way to start piling up some damage on him so we can get some real damage into him, or if it's just good enough to throw him off his game and cause a little bit of a hurt, whatever works.
All right, so what this sounds like to me is, so the way this combat system works is we basically have to charge up before we can do real damage. So this sounds like you're going to pull the wall down to build up power for yourself so that you can start seriously hurting him. So I'm going to call this a build power action you're taking with physique.
Seems fair. Yeah. I don't know if now in this, if he gets battered around, which I guess is withering.
Yeah, this is going to be like a withering action. It's gonna. There's a separate action called build power that's basically going to give you advantage over this guy.
Right. Does anyone else in the circle also get that advantage?
You can, if you know what, I'll say that when you roll this, it's going to be at difficulty 3. You can choose to assign the power that you earn, like your extra successes, to either yourself or anyone else, and you can distribute that in any way you like. Got it.
All right.
And it'll knock him off balance a little bit too, as part of your stunt. Or do you want to take those stunt dice right now, or do you want to bank them for later?
I'm gonna bank them for now because this is round 1.
All right. So you have 2 sets of stunt dice banked, I think.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
And you say it's a difficulty 3?
Yep.
All right.
You gain 1 power for meeting the difficulty, and then 1 additional 1 for each extra success.
All right. Well, let's see. And I have another 10 here, so that's 2.
Just 2 total?
No, I rolled a 10, so therefore
right. Yeah. 10
count
as 2. Correct.
So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then this is not an attack action, so
it is not an attack action, so it's 8.
Yeah. Okay. So you get 1 for beating difficulty 3, and then 5 extra. So you have 6 power that you can distribute, either keeping it to yourself or giving it to other people.
Okay. And what is that? What is a power? What is it?
It's basically like in a fighting game where you're your super bar.
Mm-hmm.
You basically charge it up to a certain point, and then you can make decisive attacks where you can start doing real damage against people.
Oh, okay. So this is where we get to the decisive.
Yes. The burden of ages, you need a number of hardness, or rather, you need a number of power equal to the burden of ages' hardness in order to start making decisive attacks to do real damage. His hardness is 3, so you have enough power to distribute enough to people right now that 2 people could make decisive attacks immediately.
There you go, Thresh.
Are you giving them all 6?
No, I'm giving them
3.
Give them 3. I'll take 3.
All right, cool. Okay, so note that down. Metal has received 3 power from this maneuver.
I have power.
You have power. You're starting immediately with, and then you surf over. So I think I'm actually going to have the burden of ages interrupt immediately. And,
just pissed him off.
Yep.
I beg to differ. Peacock pissed him off. I messed up his room.
Home. Yeah, you just brought it home to roost. I don't know.
Yeah. So he's already been kind of whipped into a frenzy by Harvester, and then you knocked a wall on him, and then this bear man just surfed over, roaring and screaming at him. So he picks up his axe and just starts wildly flailing at you. Not really flailing. It's a 7-foot tall corpse monster armored dude. It's more like aggressive berserk swings. So he's making a withering attack against Ba in order to build up power for himself.
Right.
All right. So his combat pool is 10. What's your defense?
Where I gotta find what that is. That is, let's see.
On the right side under combat.
It would be 5.
Also, do you have any step 2 defense charms you'd like to activate?
Hold on. Yes, I do.
It's almost like Monica planned this.
The Exalt plays spend 1 mode on step 2. Yes, I would like to spend 1 mode on my Golden Tiger Block Lunar defense.
All right. What does that do?
So that's Bulwark Stance plus the extra defense that he gets
Correct.
from being a lunar.
Right. So what does that increase your defense to?
So at your choice, either clear any penalties affecting your defense or reset your hardness after a concentrated attack. But it adds 1 to my defense.
Okay, so your defense is currently 6.
6.
6. All right, cool. Unlikely odds that he will hit you with this, but
that's okay.
Yeah. He's too enraged, and his swings miss completely. You are safe for the moment. Who wants to go next?
I think that was supposed to be me.
Yeah.
I have power. What's his hardness?
His hardness, the big guy, his hardness is 3.
It's only an okay question to ask in this game.
Oh my.
Wow. Okay.
Like, none of you have ever made an inappropriate joke on a stream before. It's 11 o'clock at night.
I never.
Looks at camera like Jim on The Office.
I think I'm just gonna go do some Hulk smash.
Okay.
That's the spirit.
Are you gonna try to empty all the 3 power you have right now into an immediate decisive attack, or you're gonna try to build up some more so you can have a slightly bigger damage pool?
I'm just gonna go ahead and spend it now.
Okay. All right.
Do it.
Okay, so in order to make a decisive attack period, you have to be able to spend enough power equal to their hardness.
Yes. So this is what I do. I am going to essentially, as Ba is riding in on a wave of rubble, and then he comes in and like smacks Ba, or tries to smack Ba.
You cut one of the rubble in half.
I just kind of like oh no, dog bark.
No, this is great. These are his guard dogs. It's fine.
Yes.
It's riled up.
Those dogs.
I normally like mute, but I'm talking. So anyway, so they have their diclave at the ready, and they kind of, I don't say swirl around, but more like climb up Ba's like form as he is riding in, and I kind of like run up his back and jump over this guy's head and like get behind him and like come down on him, 2-handed swipe as I am flying leaping over Ba and landing on this guy's head.
Okay, that's rad as hell, so it's definitely stunt dice. Are you going to use any charms in this?
We're
at step 1, so do you want to use any step 1 charms?
I don't have any step 1 charms.
Don't you have Excellent Strike?
It's step 3.
Oh, it's right. I changed it. Sorry, my man.
God, Monica.
Yeah. How dare I not memorize every single thing that I reviewed?
We're in red lines already. You should have memorized all of this by now. Rich is going to fire you.
No. Please don't.
That's how the combat goes.
Okay.
Don't worry, Rich. I'm supposed to kill Neal's character, not yours.
What?
Oh, please.
Oh,
I have a great charm for that.
Was there a hit on Peacock? That's no good.
I was told I was supposed to kill Neal's character within the first 15 minutes of the game.
Aww.
I failed in my duty. Anyway, so his defense is what? What am I?
Defense is, let me take a look.
4.
Defense 4, yep.
I'm going to go ahead and use that stunt die. And then I am going to spend a mote on step 3 for Excellent Strike, which will double my any extra successes after defense.
Correct.
So now I'm going to roll.
Roll. Do it.
Oh, God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 extra successes.
All right.
Over defense, which
Come 4.
Brings it to 4.
Yep.
Plus 1 from my diclave success. So that will bring it to 5.
Yep.
So that is extra successes,
Yep.
plus the 3 power that I spent.
Yep.
Right. So that's 8 dice.
Let me just double check something real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, you're right. Yes.
Yep. Okay. I wrote this.
Do you know how many things I've written that I've completely forgotten? I
had to read it.
I was like reading some Pirates of Pugmire the other day, and I was I wrote.
Yeah. Also, I have a really bad tendency to like add rules that aren't there, and I was doing that right then, which is why I double checked real quick.
Okay, so I have rolled 5 successes.
Okay, is 3 soak, so that gets reduced down to 2.
Plus 2 damage from my Diclave.
Okay.
So 4.
Yep.
4 damage.
All right. You take a big old, like, do you want to just like rip one of those pieces of armor like clean off of him? Yeah.
Yes. I want it to like shatter.
Yeah.
As totally. I strike.
Okay. At the sound of like a Diclave tearing into the undead flesh of their master, a bunch of like undead minions come pouring in the room. They are minions, so they can't interrupt, but they are entering the scene. You can see a bunch of them have spears and shields. A bunch of them are the archers that you saw from earlier, and a necromantic construct that Harvester certainly recognizes as a spine chain has crawled into the fray. A spine chain is a skeleton human centipede.
Gross.
Yes, disgusting.
Gross.
It's very good at scuttling and grappling and being horrifying. So some new enemies have appeared on the scene, but they cannot interrupt you because they are not major characters. So who wants to go next?
I think Dixie.
I think it was me. Yeah.
All right, so
go ahead.
You also established stealth earlier. So you have the benefit of an ambush when you act this turn.
What does that mean?
I'm grabbing that for you right now.
That's not on our cheat sheet.
It's not on the cheat sheet. You are correct.
Special rules.
I haven't read the whole manuscript yet. I'm working my way through it.
It's pretty long. It's good, but it's pretty long.
It's not that long though. It's shorter than a lot of core books we have out.
That's very true.
Also, while I'm live on stream, all of our authors that have written on Essence so far, if anybody picks anything in the future, but right now I think 15 people that we have on the project are amazing. I have sent sections to people like Eddie Webb that have worked on Exalted for like 10 years, and they've been like, how did they condense the history of Exalted into 2,000 words? And I'm like, they're good writers. So you all rock. Thank you all so much for all your hard work.
Thank you for covering for me while I looked up a rule.
I figured I could like spread some good cheer and also shout out everybody because they're all wonderful.
They reduced their defense by 1 for the first round of combat, which is where we are right now.
Okay, cool. So I can move and shoot in the same round, right?
You sure can. Everyone can move 1 range band reflexively as long as you're moving horizontally, jumping, and climbing, take an action.
Cool. So
unless you have a charm that changes that.
I was gonna say I'm gonna run up into the rafters because that's where all the cool shit happens.
Yeah, but you have graceful crane stance on, so you can totally.
I'm just up there now. Yeah, no, I'm like crouching tiger, hidden dragon, this shit.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm gonna run up into the rafters while drawing my dire bow.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I run, I'm gonna snatch up one of the teeth that makes up the wall, one of the giant weird fucking teeth.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull my bow with that and aim it at the spine. What was it?
Spine chain?
At the spine chain. Because that thing is scary.
It is scary.
And can I use my Gem of Omens on this?
Yeah, that lets you bank successes for later, right?
It says that once per session, if I succeed on a roll, I can apply them to another roll later. So is that
yeah.
Can I just double like one from earlier? Or is that I have to do it this time? Sorry, I'm learning.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. Basically, if you roll really well on this, you can be like, Gem of Omens, I keep these 6 successes, and then
I should have used it earlier. That's what I meant it for.
Yeah.
I thought I could just reuse a roll from earlier, but okay.
You get to basically apply a really good result to something else because you saw the future.
Right, but I didn't bank it when I rolled 7
successes, yeah.
So I'm just going to roll a normal roll then.
Okay.
This is, I'm assuming, finesse plus range combat?
Sounds good to me.
And my dire bow has accuracy +2 and damage +1.
The spine chain it's got accuracy +2, means you add 2 successes after you see the results of your roll.
Okay.
The spine chain is not exactly the most defensive creature. It has a defense of 2, but since you're ambushing it, it has a defense of 1.
Loser.
I'm just trying to take it out. It looks creepy. I don't like it.
Okay, it has a hardness of 1, so you're going to need to get at least 1 power to do this, but you can get a warning shot in on it, and then on your next turn or whatever. You could also aim.
Okay. I'm trying to learn. I'm sorry. I'm learning and doing it at the same time.
You are all good. You're doing great.
So I can aim and then go next time? Is that how that works?
Aim takes up... You've already...
Okay, so what if I didn't move? Can I retroactively just not move because it's what it does?
Totally.
Okay, so I don't move. I stand there in the shadows looking cool.
Yep, so aim gives you 3 dice to the attack, and you can...
And then also I can hit it for real this time.
Yes.
And not warning shot it. Cool, I'm not moving. I have too many dice again. This is amazing. Oh my God.
Welcome to Exalted.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then +2 for 6 successes. And then it says damage +1 and also overwhelming 4. I don't know what any of that means.
Okay, so when you're decisive attacking it, you gain 4. Well, you said that's enough drink for Monica for now.
So overwhelming determines how much the minimum power you get when you're doing a withering strike.
Okay.
And then the damage is successes added on at the end of like when you make a damage roll. So when you make an attack roll that's just withering, you'll add your accuracy, and that's a success added to your roll, and that just ends there for a withering attack. If you're doing a decisive attack, damage comes in as successes on damage.
Right, and this is withering, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I have 6 successes for that.
Cool. You now have 6 power in your bank, which you can use to start making decisive attacks either against the spine chain on your next action or against other things.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes. Thank you all in the audience for bearing with me for being new. And thank you, Danielle, for explaining mechanics, because that's what Danielle is the best at.
Yes. Thank you, Danielle.
Like, she's amazing at everything, but she is the best at explaining mechanics.
It's very true. Thank you, Danielle, for picking up for me when I was like, tongue-tied. The wine has made me tongue-tied.
Wine-tied.
Wine-tied.
So what does overwhelming do then?
So whenever you're making a withering attack,
The beginning attack, yeah.
Yeah. So when you're trying to build power, essentially when you're taking an attack to build power, the overwhelming number on your weapon is the minimum amount of power you will build.
Okay.
So if you didn't roll as many successes as your overwhelming, you will just build your overwhelming.
Oh, okay.
You're still going to get it.
Yeah.
Right. So like if I had rolled 2 successes, I would have gotten 4 power no matter what. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. That's awesome. My bow was amazing. Thank you all.
You have a cool ass artifact bow.
Also, it shoots whatever the fuck I want it to.
It does shoot whatever the fuck you want it to. So that leaves us with Harvester and then the hoi polloi that has come in.
Okay, Harvester wants to take care of some of this hoi polloi. So I'm gonna stunt and kind of dramatically add it a little bit, and you tell me if I've gone too far.
All right, go for it.
So I'm assuming there are windows here, probably with no actual windows in them, just like big like openings to the outside. Harvester's going to run over to one of them and kind of jump up into the windowsill. And he's going to look down. And if this was once a keep, there must be graveyards or lich yards all around there. So, and probably just spare parts for the necromantic war engine. And Harvester is going to take his will from his sorcery earlier, his necromancy, and he's going to raise the skeletal horde.
Okay. That definitely counts for stunt dice. Do you need to roll to raise the skeletal horde?
That's a very good question. Skeletal horde.
The thing I'm looking at, the summary I'm looking at just says up to 20 nearby corpses animate as mindless dead.
Yeah, I spend 3 will.
Yeah.
If I'm using, with my necromantic initiation, if I'm using corpses along with what I'm doing, it adds 2 will automatically. So I have 9 will.
All right.
So I'm just going to spend the 3.
Okay. Describe to me how these hordes of mindless dead just like pop out of the ground.
Buried under a very thin layer of dirt, mostly to preserve them. the lich yard down there has long been used as fuel for the various necromantic creations that the Nemissary has been building. The lich yard on the other side has been completely wiped clean to build this to build the spinal column there.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is thankfully still full of fresh corpses, and so Harvester raises his arms. And as he raises them, very not slowly, but slow enough, the undead burst forth from the ground and start to swarm up the walls and through the windows.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so that leaves us with the kitty. That leaves us with the undead army that came in here. The archers all knock arrows and pull back, firing a whole barrage at Metal, who seems to be volunteering to be shot.
No, I'm not volunteering to be shot. I'm just going to reflexively destroy one of them.
Oh, are you at active anima?
That's not active. Is it active?
Yeah, isn't the...
Crap.
Is it active? That's the one where you can just dispatch one extra per turn.
No, that's add 1 automatic success to all attempts.
Oh, no, it's
it's
your passive that lets you
My
just...
passive just lets me destroy an extra every turn.
You pink.
I was just like,
Point.
to get rid of an extra, please.
Yeah,
no, I was not volunteering for being attacked.
I mean,
If
they're
you
still
want to
shooting at you
attack
anyway,
me.
though.
Point of
If you
order.
want to attack me, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, point of order. The dawn anima allows you to just defeat an extra and take them out of the fight each turn. I think the dusk one is what you have to kill or maim someone every turn. It's the same
I don't
thing.
think you
but...
have to. It's pretty similar, though.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to.
You have to kill someone
Killing
every
your
turn.
friends.
No, you can maim them.
I can't stop.
All right, the archers are firing at Metal because they're trying to knock them into a disadvantaged position with the intent of using their harrying arrows to basically build up power for their boss.
Sure.
Because they have the ability to harry you with arrows, your defense is reduced by 1 until the end of their turn.
Okay, that's fine.
So what is your defense?
Um,
And do you have any defense terms you want to use?
I don't.
Anything that goes off on step 2?
No.
Okay.
No. And I need to look and see whether or not I can use this other thing. Yeah. So my defense is 4 because they have lowered my defense.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So they are going to give their power to Burden of Ages.
Okay. Can I counterattack?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Doing that. I was like, oh, they didn't do damage, so step 8 is actually not. Is that a thing? Okay, so yeah, okay. But I'm gonna do swift counterattack. I'm gonna spend 1 mote. Oh, I don't have. Oh, I used up all my power. Nobody gave me any more. Never mind.
You can't afford it.
I can't afford it. Never mind. I was like, oh, 1 mote. Oh, and 1 power. Damn it.
I should have given you power. I didn't know. I didn't know I could do that.
That's okay. You've got all that power. You've got the power.
Woo.
What, honey? Oh, look at you.
It's behind the wall.
Who's
Do
behind
not,
the curtain?
do not pay attention to what is
Significant
behind.
others behind the curtain.
Yes.
They
Pay
came
no
from
attention.
beyond the curtain.
That's our next one.
Okay,
yeah.
so the spine chain does not it's animate, but it doesn't really have thoughts. So it can't really put together that some mysterious hidden figure with a really cool bow shot it with a tooth from across the room. So instead, it targets the biggest, scariest looking thing in the room, which is Ba.
Ah.
And it goes crawling towards it. trying to grab at him and like pull him away from the master, attempting to build up power against him too with a withering attack.
Is it? That's not grappling, is it?
Not yet. It's just making a withering attack by grabbing you with its many gross hands. All right. Do you have defense terms you want to use?
Seems like it might be a good idea. Let me find my charm thing again here. Boop, 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 boop. Spend 1 mote on step 2.
That's where we are right now.
We'll use that again.
All right. We're just going to bump your defense up by 1.
Yep.
All right. So 6 again.
Yes.
All right. Well, they have 7 dice, so good luck with that. But let's see. No. But they do gain 1 power for having an overwhelming value of 1 on their grabby hands.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not pulled away from the fight. Maybe grossed out by skeletal fingers in your fur.
I've seen it all before.
All right, so that ends round 1. Everyone gets 1 mote back.
Bing.
The Breath of War.
The Breath of War, yeah.
Yeah.
And we continue back up at the top with the player character group going first. So whoever wants to go first can go ahead and claim it.
Can I shoot again? Because I thought I could do like rapid fire.
Yeah, you
shooting.
sure can.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just seems like the kind of thing I do. Be like, I'm gonna shoot as fast as possible. So she's gonna snatch up a second tooth, but this one
Okay.
she's going to make sure is from some kind of venomous snake.
Okay.
She's gonna snatch up a venom tooth.
All right, because
And
you have that poison.
It's not even just that, actually. I was going with the fact that I have something called holistic bullet methodology.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is what I said, Ariel can fire anything from a ranged weapon. Most functions as normal, but certain things, like a venomous snake, might have additional effects, like poisoning the target.
Okay. We can treat it as though you'd coated it with the poison that's on your character sheet.
That also works. Sure.
Yeah. Then I don't have to look up additional poison rules.
That sounds great. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, so you build up a bunch of power last turn, right?
Yeah, 6.
6. Okay, so they have hardness 1. So you can easily spend this can be a decisive attack. This can be real damage.
Okay.
So go ahead, and that was a cool stunt. You get your stunt dice. You're gonna spend your mote for the.
I get more stunt dice.
You get stunt dice for this action.
Cool.
Yep.
I spend my mote for the Phantom Arrow.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Did that.
Defense 2.
I'm rolling finesse plus fortitude again.
Yep. Oh, so when you can spend more than the 1 power required,
Mm-hmm.
and every power you spend after that adds another damage die to your pool. So, but you have to decide.
How hard do I need to kill this person?
They've got the spine chain has 10 health levels. It's pretty beefy.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna. I've got like 4 stunt dice banked and shit. I got this.
All right. How much power do you want to spend on this attack?
Well, let's go with. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 2 power.
Okay.
And also 2 stunt dice.
All right.
Because otherwise I'd be going over my no more than 5 dice added rule, and I don't want to do that.
It's 10.
I thought it was 5 dice, or no, is it 10 dice?
10 dice, 5 successes. Yeah.
Fuck it, let's do it.
That's the spirit.
It's a one shot. So we are adding 5 power.
Yep.
And 4 stunt dice. And I'm rolling literally all the dice from my table.
Hell yeah. Do it.
Oh my god, my hands are so small.
All right. Defense 2.
Who got this?
Okay, that needs to be re-rolled. 1, 2, 3, 4 needs to be re-rolled. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 successes.
Okay. So you have 8 extra successes. So 8, and you spent 5 power? Yes.
Yeah.
8 plus 5 is 13. Roll 13 damage dice.
Also, I have the +2 accuracy on the dire bow, so I think I actually got more than that technically.
Oh, yeah. So that goes up by 2 more.
So 15.
Yep.
15 damage die.
And then I have +1.
16 damage die.
And you could roll more, actually. 2,
Yeah, that +1 will be a
5,
success if that's your damage.
7, 8, 9. 9 + 1.
9 + 1. Okay, so that's 10. They have soak 3, so they have 3 health levels left.
I hit them real hard.
You
Oh,
wanna-
also the poison that you gave me. Difficult 5 to resist, 2 damage dice per round for 5 rounds.
Okay, so let's see if they can successfully resist difficulty 5 with 5 dice. No.
Well, they
So
also get 2 more damage dice for
so
this
at the-
round.
Yeah, go ahead and roll 2 extra.
2 sevens. 2 sevens. So they have 1
Okay.
health level.
1 health level left. I think you added the power to the attack roll. It's only supposed to add to the damage roll, but who cares? That was cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about like spending power and something at the same
It's
time.
okay.
So
Nah, it's all right.
I know for next time.
Yeah. That was awesome, so I'm not mad. But for clarification for the audience, when you spend power like that, it only adds to the damage roll, not to the attack roll.
Okay.
It was cool.
It was
but-
cool, so don't worry about it. That's fine.
It was not clear at the time. So
Yeah.
for the future, we know it's clear.
Yep, all good.
Also, the cat's trying to eat my microphone.
Oh no, who wants to go next?
Why don't when Harvester goes, I'm just going to take a build power action
All right,
using my sagacity.
all right.
I'm going to do a rally to command my skeletal hordes to basically clear out every mook in the room, or just at least block them, and allow Metal Thrasher and Ba Ray space to actually engage the emissary.
Mhm.
And so I'm just going to try to build power, and then I'm going to donate my power half and half between Ba Ray and Metal Thrasher.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's definitely a stunt, so go ahead and roll that.
I'm getting more fond of this guy every time he does.
So I'm saying I'm trying to do it like a little deftly. So I'm going to go with finesse. I'm going to go with finesse and embassy because I've got a good embassy. Okay. So 5. What's my difficulty?
For building power, it's always 3.
Always 3. That's right.
Yep.
I got 5 successes.
Okay. Then you gain 1 for beating the difficulty, and then 4 for each extra success. So get 5.
Yeah. So I'm going to give. Let's give
Thresh the big one.
Okay, let's give 3 to Thrash and give 2 to Ba Ray.
Okay, cool. The Burden of Ages is going to interrupt. Between his goons and his own action, he has 5 power. So he is going to haul back with his big ol' axe and attempt to smash into metal. What's your hardness? It's 2. All right. So he has 5 power, so he can decisively attack you. He's going to spend 3, taking him down to power 2. Here comes the jump kick. I keep putting my dice away like a dumbass.
Why would you do that?
You might need them later.
Monica, are you done with your dice while we're still in combat fighting the big bad guy?
Yeah, we'll just keep rolling. You're fine.
Like I have a pile of them over here, and I keep just putting them back in the pile instead of leaving them in my dice tray.
Need them.
All right, what's your defense? Oh, and
Danielle, you're muted, baby.
yeah. Also, I let go of the dice too soon. If you have any defense charms you want to use,
No.
Okay.
5, unless the arrow thing is.
No, it's on there.
used.
It's only
That
on
was
their
just
turn.
Last round, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 5.
5. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 3 extra successes.
Cool.
You spent, I said 3 power. Oh yeah, and it has 1 accuracy, so that goes up by 1. All right, so you spent 3 power.
Mhm.
So that is 7 dice.
Yep.
Do you have okay? So do you have soak defense charms? I think you do.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna
Right.
spend a moat for iron kettle bottling.
Okay,
Body.
that increases your soak by +3, +4. Okay,
Plus my
by 4.
physique because I'm a solar.
All right. What is that? What does that make your soak total?
8.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just enough to hit 8, which is not enough to damage you.
Okay, I am going to now, because I have 3 power, I am going to counter strike.
Okay.
That's with counterattack.
Fucking emissary.
And I am going to commit a moat actually for this.
The counterattack?
Yeah.
It should be spent.
Yeah. No, I can just commit a moat and then just keep making counterattacks.
Oh, the solar version does let you commit, and then you can make them for the whole scene.
Like just
Yeah,
keep
that's-
making
Yes.
counterattacks.
That's ready in 8 directions.
Ready in 8 directions.
Jabam.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ready in 8
Jabam.
directions is beefy.
Beef. Yeah, you still have to spend a power every time you want to counterattack. though.
Yeah, I'm doing
This
that.
is why I love the universal charms with like modes for different exalts, because like everybody gets a counterattack, but like solars get to just be like, "Fuck you."
Fuck you for the whole scene.
6, 8, 9. Yeah, so he swings at me, whoop, and I'm like, I just like Thrasher just catches like his axe with my with their diclave,
Yeah.
and then just like overpowers him and like just turns that into an attack on him. Like
Nice.
like catches the blade and then right back at him.
So you can use 1 charm per step of combat, and counterattacks reset you back around 1.
Yeah,
So yep, it's also for the audience who doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
And for
Well, they don't
Dixie,
know,
who
but
also
I
doesn't know. Yeah,
I
you
just
know,
love
I'm
how
not
Danielle's like,
explaining-
"Yep,
Yeah,
play."
I know. Danielle's like,
Danielle's
I fucking
fine
wrote-
over here. She's fine.
Yeah, and I
Danielle's
am
like,
going to
stop
spin for
mansplaining
my-
the system I wrote.
I'm definitely
First-
spending a moat to
First
do
death, now the
excellent strike.
system.
All right.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
Okay.
I mean, it's good for me. A lot of successes.
It
1,
sounds
2,
great.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
okay.
9
Holy,
successes
holy shit.
before I add
Right,
anything.
defense is 4.
So 5 doubled is 10.
Yeah,
plus
sure is.
1.
Yeah.
I fill up my power bar. Ding, 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 ding.
Were you withering attacking him on the counter, or were you going to decisive attack him?
Yeah,
on the
because
counter?
I didn't have enough to also. I had to spend a power, which left me at 2.
Oh, right.
It wasn't
Okay.
enough to do
Okay,
a
so
decisive.
you are fully charged.
So, but can I hand over some of my extra? I have like 3 extra power.
It's not. We didn't currently say. So
Okay,
off the
that's
cuff,
cool.
sure, why not?
I'll give it to Ba. It's your turn, Ba.
All right.
Remember the old days when you had an earlier incarnation? We used to do this all the time.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
You were best smashy friends.
Yes.
Mhm. All right.
So I think I gave you 3 of my extra.
Yes.
Ridiculous extra.
Yeah, I don't remember
Gives
what
me
is in the
5
core
power.
rules, but if there's spillover beyond 10, that seems perfectly cool to distribute that to your circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all like
Add
take
that in.
like just
You're
you
like,
know.
that was so cool. It motivates
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
else to
yeah.
fight harder.
We all get motivation to like keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ba, lay it on me. What are we
Okay.
doing?
So I wanted to ask you before I say anything.
Okay.
Do we have rules for grappling?
Yes, we sure do.
Okay, because that wasn't on the cheat sheet either.
It was not, because it's kind of long.
That's what I figured, because it's always a pain in the butt. So my second part of that is grappling too much of a pain in the butt for you to want to deal with right now? And I'll be glad just to haul off and go after this guy physically.
No, it's not, but do let me search my document really quick so I can pull it up.
Okay.
Oh, come on. It's just grapple? Yes, it's just grapple. Okay. All right. We do need to try this out. No one's tried it out
Uh-huh.
in any of the games I've tested it. So, hey, Let's do it live.
Here we go. It's a playtest. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you know what? Actually,
I'm
this
excited.
is not that complicated. It just was longer than I wanted to put on the cheat sheet, which was already long.
Yeah.
I'm very excited because
And
I made these.
by long, you mean like 2 pages, though, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was 2 pages.
2 pages for an Exalted cheat sheet is pretty good.
Yeah, it's like 2,000 words.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So to engage in a grapple, you just make a withering attack. It's usually made with close combat, but I think you have something that lets you use physique instead, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. It's against the opponent's defense. If you are successful, instead of gaining power, you grapple them, and then both characters immediately oppose to establish who's in control.
Gotcha.
The person initiating it, that's you. You gain the extra successes on that roll as bonus dice to remain in control of that grapple.
All right.
All right. So go ahead and just stunt this for me, and then make that roll.
All right. Now, what happened to the centipede nasty thinger? I know it's only it's reeling from the poison and everything.
Yeah, it's on its last legs or
Is that
arms,
still
as
near
it were.
me when it was shot?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay, and it's how big?
Several human torsos long. So like 10 feet long.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it's kind of slowly corroding because it got shot with a venom tooth arrow.
So what I would like to do is use it as my propelling thing to leap onto it and bounce off and go right through the air onto our opponent.
Okay, great. That's cool. You can do that.
I don't know if that would cause any crushing damage or anything to it.
Not really. It's just going to be part of your cool stunt.
Cool.
All right, so you're going to springboard off of this and...
That's what I was going for, springboard thing.
Yeah. So are you grabbing a Burden of Ages?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
What I'd like to do is get my arms around him.
All right. You have big bear arms, so...
Yeah.
Bear hug.
See if that can slow him down with his axe.
All right. Go ahead and make that force plus close combat attack.
All right.
Well, but you get to use other stats because you have the.
I will use physique and force.
Yep.
And grappling is an attack.
Yes, grappling
Yes.
is an attack.
Okay. So actually, I will use finesse and physique.
Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. What do I need? 7s again.
Yep, you're looking for 7s, 10s double, and
Right.
you're looking for 4 successes. It's defense.
That's
you've got defense
exactly what
score.
I have.
All right, you got him. All right, so now you two immediately roll off. You have 1 extra die to this, because you tied, and you're the initiating character. So the Burden of Ages is also going to roll to try to stay in control.
Right.
This is not an attack roll, so you get your
Thank you.
automatic success. Yep.
All right, so we'll move into this with that.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3.
He's only got
And-
3.
What?
He's only got 3.
Okay. And well, I already beat him. I've got.
All right.
Do I have to? If I beat him by anything, does that change anything, or I just have to beat him?
No, you're in control, which means you can then do things to him like pin him or throw him.
Right now I'm interested in positioning him so that my partner over there can get an easier hit.
Sure.
Hold him there and go to the next round, I guess.
Yeah, cool. You can hold him open for
Right.
for a thing. Do you have any banked stunt dice?
I do.
Would you like to spend one of those banked stunt dice as part of this cool description to give Danielle 1 power?
I certainly would,
I have
Ollie.
10 power.
Oh, you're maxed out, right?
Right.
Ow.
I
you
think
could give it to someone else if you wanted to.
Give it to Dixie.
Yeah, give it to Dixie.
I thought I might need the stunt dice for when he tries to break out again.
Well, you can get stunt dice really easily just by describing your action.
I gotcha. Okay. Well,
You're
then I will be
encouraging use of
glad.
narrative.
I will
Yeah.
be glad
Yeah.
to give 1 die away.
I will take it and put it in my bag.
Cool.
We on a new round.
We are on a new round.
I think Neil should go first.
Oh, right. Neil didn't go yet. Neil doesn't get to participate.
No, I thought he built
he
power.
did go. He built
Well,
power.
no. I said I thought he should go first the next turn so
next
we can
turn.
showcase
Right.
something. Yeah.
This round.
Okay, so yes, that ends the round. Everybody gets a moat back.
Thank goodness.
Everybody recovers a moat, except for the one I have committed.
Except for the ones you got committed.
That makes me able to run up walls.
Mine just makes me a big bear guy.
All right, back to the top. Neil, you want to go first? What's Harvester got up his sleeve?
Oh, let's see. What does Harvester have?
I got a pin guy here. If you can like put a laser in his head or something.
I can't put a laser in his head, but either Flater Mouse or Thrasher can do that. So instead, I'm going to gonna inspire since I have presence.
You should shame all the extras into leaving. Make a social roll on them and shame them all into leaving.
You can totally shame all the extras into leaving.
Let's do that then.
You also suck.
Oh my god.
All right, we're leaving then.
You're playing Azula. We've got Toph as Danielle. You're playing Azula.
Yeah. Harvester's gonna shout to everyone, just sort of like on the fence of whether to run or not. He's going to look them in the eyes and see their naked souls. And he's going to say, no, stay. You're just going to see your champion here die a gruesome death for a second time.
That also seems like a pretty forceful approach to this.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Do you have any particular charms you want to use for this? I feel like the charms that you have on your sheet are a little bit more subtle than that.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not.
They are, however, all undead.
Oh,
What happened to your bone lion?
Yeah, what happened to your bone lion?
I didn't summon my bone lion.
Okay.
Why not? Why did we give you a bone lion?
Because I chose to summon 20 guys instead.
See if I ever throw you a bone ever again.
A
Bone lion?
Yeah.
If I ever throw you a bone lion again.
Yeah.
So Command the Dead is a force plus presence roll anyway. I got my motes back, so I can just spend one again.
Yeah.
It generally focuses against an undead target or the master controlling them. So do you think I could just target?
I'll let you target the whole group.
Okay.
We're running up on time and it's cool. So...
I was gonna target the emissary, but yeah, sure. Okay. Gonna take stunt dice for that.
Yeah.
5 successes. Just wham.
Wham. And you're trying to get them to all leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you want them to disperse?
Running and sobbing.
Running, yeah, they break rank and flee weeping into the night.
Good. The weeping is important.
Yeah. Do you want your moat back for Cruel Banquet?
Yes, I do.
How are you? How's everybody on anima, by the way?
I have no idea. I don't know how to calculate that.
Every time you commit or spend a moat, for each moat, you gain 1 anima.
Oh, no idea then.
Oh,
I'm tracking that.
I'm iconic now, by the way.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Probably iconic, honestly, but I don't know.
You committed 2 for Graceful Crane Stance.
I committed 1 for Graceful Crane.
1 for Graceful Crane.
And I've spent others for other things.
You used Phantom Arrow technique at least twice. You used the Stealth Excellency.
And Shadow Stillness.
You used Perfect Shadow Stillness. So that's 5 moats. So you're halfway up your track.
Which is what?
Active.
Okay, sorry. But the way it looks on our sheet right now, it's active is 2 and then iconic is 7 or 9.
Active kicks in at 2 and then continues all the way up until you hit iconic.
Oh, okay. We can make.
Don't worry, we'll get that graphically done.
That'll make that clear.
Yes, our final sheet will look much better than these made-at-home ones.
No, H. Thank you for our volunteer sheets. Thank you so much for making these for us. You didn't have to do that.
They're not clear. This is just one of those little weird things.
Yeah.
So I'm at Anima 5.
So
yes, you're at Anima 5.
I'm not iconic. I'm just flaring.
Okay, yeah. You hit iconic anima when you hit 10 anima.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so just that last box. Got it.
Yes,
Cool.
just the last box. Yep.
I learned something about anima
yes.
right now.
So your anima powers are meant to be on in the active mode for most of the game or a fight.
Mm-hmm.
You take 2 to kick it off. It's using 2 charms or 1 sort of expensive thing. Then you're going to stay inactive and get this constant sort of level benefit through the whole fight. And then you're going to hit iconic and do something really cool before it ticks back down.
What do we define as incapacitate?
If you mark all your health down to the last box, you get incapacitated and are knocked out, or something bad can happen to you.
All right. And because my iconic effect, and we're wasting time here, but I was just curious, is that I heal damage when I incapacitate an enemy, and I'm assuming if I was beating up like those bandits earlier, that would count too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So easy way to heal up is to take out a bunch of mooks.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Okay.
All right. Where were we?
Neall just
Cleared the room.
You cleared the room.
Cleared
right.
the room. That's right. I was like, you did a thing.
Yeah. Neall cleared the room
useful.
with Command the Dead.
Right.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I spend all my power murdering this guy?
You can spend all your power murdering this guy. You want to send us? You want to send us off with a cool as fuck description, because you're going to end this fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So unless I just roll really well to hit or really poorly to hit, that would be amazing.
Cut off my arm.
So Ba is holding this guy down, right? And he's got him pinned, and he's trying to position him in a way that Thrasher can get in there and they can, stab him. So they're just going to come and lop off his head.
Okay.
They're pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to duck under that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very
I'm
cool.
just like, I just yelled duck.
and then Barre changes into a duck.
But I mean, it's flying, right? So.
That's what I'm saying. You can.
It says harpy eagle. It doesn't mean it's not harpy duck.
If you want to improvise having a duck form just for the purpose of this punchline, I'm fine with it.
And I'm gonna spend for my excellent strike.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 7 successes.
Yeah.
So 3.
Defense 4.
Yeah. So 3 doubled is 6.
6. Yep.
Plus 1 from my weapon is 7. Plus 10 from power that I spend.
Yeah.
All these dice.
Yeah.
All these dice. Oh, you see my pile of dice.
Roll those dice, Danielle. Thrash.
Oh God, they're falling everywhere.
Metal.
That one was an excess anyway. Oh yeah, that's a 6. Okay.
You have dice all over your floor.
I do. They're on my floor. They're everywhere.
Watch out for the pets with those.
You know how many dice I just rolled?
How many dice did you just roll?
I rolled what? 17?
Yeah.
I have 4 successes.
Plus the damage from your weapon.
I was holding him.
So that's 6.
Okay. Well, he has soak 3.
So I do 3 damage.
You do 3 damage. He had 4 health left, but it is 11:57, so I'm going to call this fight.
Hey, I'll end it for you if you want.
Okay,
yeah, go for it.
Rich
Describe
is it.
So I have him held, and she almost cut off his head.
Right.
I'm going in with the whole bear bite right into his neck.
Oh
Rip
no,
the rest
he's
of his head
nearly
right
headless.
off.
Perfect.
I mean, he did say he was hungry.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm
he
making
did
some
have like a
emissary pie.
big, he did have like a big helmet thing on, so it's crunchy.
It's like a giant acorn.
Not the best head you've ever bitten off.
But, it's satisfying nonetheless.
So that the evil is defeated, or this asshole is defeated. We have a couple minutes to wrap this up. What sort of epilogue would you guys like to put on the end of this story of beating up an undead jerk and
Does is it in with the Abyssal taking over the whatever Shadow Realm?
Oh, it absolutely does. And he offers, as long as the undead minions swear fealty to the Harvester, I'm fine with it. I swear fealty to Mask of Winters. I swear fealty to May. Everything's fine. So I'm going to retire and run my little kingdom. Thanks, guys.
Oh, it's good to know we have a friend on the throne.
How do the rest of you feel about Harvester turning this into an opportunity for his own gain?
I think in a couple of decades we're going to come back here and have to oust him.
Yeah, like 1 month I come back and murder him.
I forgot what I said about you in the
I was
beginning.
giving him some time.
What did I say about you in the beginning? That your hubris lead to your downfall?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna wait and see.
So the Ceaseless Harvester of Wisdom immediately starts running it like a proper Shadowland, which means lots more death.
Peacock feathers.
Yeah, peacock feathers. So the group will later come back and kill him.
You're going to become the villain of the next demo.
Right.
Yeah, you were running around with abyssals. Well, I don't know what you expected. Like, oh, he's a renegade abyssal. He's using his dark powers for good. No.
No.
He was kind of an okay guy. I mean, yeah.
All right, so that's gonna end. I want to go ahead and thank Monica for running this for us,
Oh, that was
especially
fantastic,
on
Monica.
short notice.
So much.
This is a game that, like I said, is in red line, so I know people are looking a lot at what all just happened, and they're going like, "Oh, this caps at this, and this happened, and this." Yes, as of right now, stuff might change. We don't know yet. We need to go through a bit more playtesting before we set anything in stone. But I think it ran really well. Honestly, we had so few questions, and the ones we had were more like newbie questions than they were like this doesn't make any sense questions, which is cool. Also, it looks like Plague Wind in the chat won the copy of Scion Origin for PDF. So I don't know if we need anything from them. I'm waiting for Tyler to answer me on that, but they did win. Yay.
Hooray! Before we sign off, Dixie, how did you feel about playing Exalted for the first time?
Yeah, no, I was gonna give us a couple minutes to unpack it before we all like fucked off. I loved it. That was really fun. I would definitely like to do a longer campaign. I'd love to get more into it. Like one of my powers was super cool. There was just no good chance to use it because we kind of just like scooted for things.
Yeah.
But funny story for those that are kind of watching is that I have my charms, and then 2 of them had Monica's dev notes on them. I was the only person that had Monica dev notes on my charms. So 2 of my charms have a dev note that says like, maybe this should work this way. So one of my sidereal charms was that I could do dramatic editing. Which is like if something bad had happened, like we had gotten ambushed, then I could have turned back time to like see the ambush happen by 1 minute. And I was like, that would be really fun. So like in a longer campaign, I can see where you would use that. Plague Wind, I'm going to put an email address in there, or you can just email one of us to get your copy, by the way. So, sorry. I'm doing 2 things at once. Rich, how did you feel about it?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a blast. I thought it ran reasonably smoothly considering, and I actually like when we can say things like, that was just too cool not to have happened.
I mean, that's my favorite way to approach running a game.
That's
I definitely like,
and that's Exalted as I like to do that for a lot of games.
Yeah, like I definitely didn't understand the like where you added power, and that was totally just a misunderstanding. Just because you're like, oh, add power, add some dice. I was like, okay, give me all the dice.
My bad.
It wasn't correct. I don't care. It was cool at the time. And also rolling 12 dice would have been cool, which is what it would have been even without that. So
yeah. I think, for when we get down to running even more play tests, it'll be very interesting to see how it play tests out for a group of people, none of whom wrote the freaking rules.
right. Yeah.
Because I was really grateful. I love being able to ask the people who wrote the rules, hey, what goes on here?
I was going to say though, Neall, how did you feel like having written for 2nd and 3rd and everything and not played this?
I definitely think it runs smooth. It still feels very much like Exalted. A lot of times when you're running Exalted or you're playing it for a while, you fall back on like 2 or 3 bread and butter charms. And for the most part, Essence just kind of cuts out everything but the bread and butter charms that you really love. And I mean, I just walked around commanding the dead everywhere. It was great. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to get my hand at running this because I'm gonna run an Exalted game on Sunday. So. Also,
have we decided yet which version of Exalted that you're running?
I think I'm gonna try to run Essence.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a good shot.
We had Neil scheduled to run a 3 one-shot with actually Eric Minton playing, along with Lauren Roy, Steffi Devan, and Eric Zawadsky. And over the course of the past 24 hours, I think that Neil has slowly decided that he's going to run Essence instead. So if you want to see another Exalted game that will possibly be an Essence playtest, tune into your Sunday morning game. Is it 10 a.m., 11 a.m.?
It's 10 or 11. Check the schedule.
Yeah, check schedule. But I think we might have a second one, and it'll be a completely different group of people except for Neil. So you'll see some new faces. And also, a lot of folks haven't seen Eric Minton play. This will be fun because I love Eric. I love talking to Eric.
Maybe you'll get to see one of the Exalts that hasn't been released yet.
That too, we talked about. So. I mean, technically, Abyssals and Sidereals aren't released yet, so you saw 2 of them tonight.
Yeah, but you know, we can't dangle the red meat in front of the fan base without them eventually.
I feel like Neil's talking about a Gatimian or an Exigen here. Maybe
he's exactly talking about a Gatimian or an Exigen.
Maybe a liminal. We got some cool shit. Yeah, does anybody else have any final thoughts before we shut this down? Because I know some of us have a panel in 9 hours. So
I had a great time. You were all very wonderful to run for. I was very pleased with how smoothly it went. This is actually my first time running Essence because I didn't run the home tests because I was so deep in the system pass that I didn't want to run it. I wanted to see it happen so I could be critical from outside the driver's seat. Because I'll overcorrect when I'm running the game and I'll house rule off the fly and do all these things that shouldn't be there. So I made my significant other run the game and I could sit there and write notes.
That's awesome too, though.
Yeah. So this was my first time running Essence.
Right.
So my first time being in the driver's seat really just brought me right back to playing previous editions too. It really made me feel like a high, the way H really made me feel the way real good campaigns of Exalted feel, and we did that in 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah, it was. And the first 35 minutes of it was set up, and that's awesome. Yeah. We did granted we had our character sheets already, so a session 0 could take a couple hours or longer if you were doing character creation, but just to if everybody at home makes their own characters and all you do in that session 0 is establish bonds and places, we did that so fast, and that's really awesome because it was all narrative. Danielle, you have something to say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say actually character creation takes maybe 30 minutes. It is super fast. The slowest part of it is picking out charms because it's always the slowest part is well, there's options. What options do I pick? I'm hitting my microphone. Anyway,
that's okay. So, you're playing a smashy character. You can just hit things if you want. We're not upset about it.
Yeah. So character creation actually goes really fast. So you could get, it's especially if you're, familiar with, what you kind of want to do, or you're familiar with Exalted, you can pick up charms and run. And then if you're not familiar with Exalted, I still think that the charms are going to be kind of self-explanatory, and we may even include some example charm sets. I don't know. I'm not the developer. I'm just saying that.
I mean, possibly. I'm not going to say no right now. I don't know though, but for this, I took the excellencies, which are written a little bit longer because they have examples, and I boiled the excellency down to 2 sentences, which is and the first one is just flavor text, which is whatever the Exalted Temp, she does so with superhuman ability. And then literally the explanation is spend 1 vote on step 1 during combat to double your stealth score for mine, for the purposes of dice rolls. And then in parentheses, I put stealth 4 gives you 8 dice, etc. Right. And that's what an excellency does. Granted, it's a little longer because it's like depending on which excellency it is. But once you boil it down, it's one sentence. And that to me is really helpful because that was my biggest thing coming into Exalted. Was I see these charms that look really cool, but they'd be like 2 paragraphs of stuff to remember. And I was like, I don't know what this does.
Yeah,
Quickly.
most charms in Essence have been maybe 150, 200 words at most.
Max, yeah.
That's really long.
That's a very long charm. Most of mine are like my Shadow Stillness is commit 1 mote. The Exalt doubles 9s on all stealth rolls to remain undetected. If she didn't move on her last turn, she doubles 8s instead.
Yep.
That's like 20 words.
The thing I will say about character creation, since Danielle made a really good point, the first time you do character creation, if you're new, is going to take you a little bit because you have to learn about creation and then you have to pick all your charms. And it's still there's still kind of a lot of depth there. So don't think Essence has taken away the depth of choice and stuff like that, because we absolutely have not. But the second time you make a character, it's like that. Like, I think I made all these pre-gens during my workday over like 2 hours. Yeah. And that was tabbing back and forth between doing my work and putting a character together real quick.
Yeah, no, these came in real quick. I made we all have charm cheat sheets, which I went through and like found our charms for because we're all working. So I was trying to split the load there. And I mean, it took me maybe 40 minutes to go through a document I hadn't looked at that's in lots of different pieces and find all the charms. Like, it just wasn't that hard. And then for the excellencies, which I think only me and Rich had, I did edit them to make them for the specific one, but it was just for our sheets to make our lives easy. But yeah, no, it was easy. It was fun. It was I can't I looked at this character sheet, which is not official, but a really awesome homebrew playtest character sheet. I've looked at it a few times and I'm like, I could figure this out real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is cool. And honestly, maybe something to show Mike Chaney once we decide to actually send this to play out. Feel like, here, we made you an example.
Right.
Do something like this.
Yeah.
Rich, do you have any last thoughts? Oh, Danielle printed hers and she's showing spoilers on the camera. Look at that.
Look how well you can see that blurry image.
Oh, don't worry. People will see it.
I'm sure there'll be screenshots.
So it's about 10 after, and I know that Rich and myself both need to be on stream at 9 a.m. So, Rich, do you have any final thoughts as our creative director before we sign off?
No, I had a really good time. I think it showed that there was a lot of range of what you could do. I could have gone a very different direction with the character, but it kind of went with the way it was, basically sitting there when it wasn't a high force guy. It was whatever the other damn F is.
Finesse and fortitude.
Yes, finesse was the highest, and then the whole thing with the loyalty and stuff like that. It kind of molded me into that kind of character sort of thing, and then I just wanted to see what other kind of goofy stunts I could throw out with what was on the sheet,
Yeah. And if we were playing a longer campaign, we definitely have room for you to turn into various people and birds and swimming creatures and whatever. Yeah. In a game like this, where we're pretty much like walk up, fight a dude, you're pretty much going to be a bear.
I have to be honest. The last character I played was in a D&D game, and I was a druid who was shapeshifting all the time. So I didn't, until we needed to have that happen, I didn't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had the I'm a bird, I'm a spider, I can go anywhere. Thing. We didn't need that because we had the Duck of Death walking in, and just saying, yeah, we're gonna go up there. Let's go fight that guy.
The Duck of Death.
Does you mean you're referring to your D&D duck people, or do you mean Neall?
Neall, the Peacock of Death.
The Peacock of Death. But
for what it's worth, in the last game that we played with Rich, which was set in his D&D world, Neall did play a duck person named Duke L'Orange.
His name was Hewitt L'Orange. He was a
Duke. He was the Duke L'Orange.
So he was the Duke L'Orange, yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Also
awesome.
Duck of Death.
I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Exalted Discord, for watching and pinning every single thing we said into a weird pin document that I'm worried about. No, really, y'all are amazing. Y'all are fantastic. I love chatting with y'all. I'm sorry I'm not in there as much as I could be, but the conversation moves so fast, so that would be my 24-hour job if I were in that Discord. Please join us in the AVP Discord. Please donate to the charities we're supporting. We're like halfway almost toward our goal, and it's Friday night at midnight. So we have 2 more full days to get up there, which is freaking amazing. We've got programming going on from I think 9 a.m. tomorrow to midnight again.
Yep.
And then same thing on Sunday. So stick around. You'll see a lot of our faces a few times, but we'll be peppered in with new people. And also once we hit tomorrow and our Europeans are back up, you'll start seeing Matthew and Stephanie Devan and all those folks. So thank you all for coming for the kickoff night.
Yay!
For
Thank you,
donations.
everyone.
Congratulations again, Plaguewind. And thank you to Tyler and Gehenna Gaming for powering this. So
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night.